Are we actually live? Why are we on Google Docs?
Yeah. Oh, and we're live.
We're live. Hello. Yeah. And welcome to SLS Winter Split 2022. I'm Jordan. Today we are super excited to be here, bringing all exciting action.
I'm doing pretty good. It's 2022. Where did the year go? That's what I
That is true.
One thing you know is November, the next thing you know is December. Like, what?
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy. Hopefully you got some of your Christmas shopping done. You've been having a good time, but here we are. We're right back in the studio.
Yeah, I did do a lot of my Christmas shopping. Speaking of Christmas shopping, Christmas time, and Christmas presents, we can't go any further without acknowledging you. A lot of hard work at SOS. I mean, long hours.
Yeah, some of these times I've been here till like 3, 4 in the morning. Some of that stuff, yeah, and I've been talking to a lot of some fans who kind of reached out, and it's been nice.
Yeah, they're not bad.
Right.
Anyway, so as a token of our appreciation for your hard work, we got you a A little gift. It's nothing crazy. But open it
Wow.
up. I mean, I think,
This is beautiful right here. Let's see.
yeah.
I hope it's a dog. Let's see. No way. No way. This has been how long?
Yeah, I know.
I have been requesting these since before the SLS started, and our boss, our manager, Zach, he kept telling us, hey man, we just didn't have it in the budget this year. And look at this. I mean, this is incredible. And I have a few words to say for this. I mean, welcome to the world of Swag Life Lobsters. Some people call it Swag Life Series. They're interchangeable. Our carefully cultivated crustaceans, trademark, are the epitome of sophistication. You can indulge in the ultimate dining experience with Swag Life Lobsters. Here's what I'm telling you right now. You better order now and elevate your seafood game, your footwear game to new heights.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you right now, you're not going to be disappointed. Your
quality is
family's not going to be
incredible.
disappointed. If you've been chasing after that significant other and
Yeah.
you're right on the brink of it, this is going to get you past the pushing point when she sees you strolling up to this party in your lobster swag gear. It's incredible.
Yeah, and it smells good too.
Tastes good too, yeah.
It does taste good.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, I'm glad you like the gift.
Thank you.
You
I
deserve
appreciate
it.
that. I
If you want,
appreciate
if you want to check it out, lobster.sos.lol, go check it out for yourselves.
It's
But
a real thing.
we have kept you waiting long enough, so let's get right into the action. To start off tonight, we have a Noxus Division showdown.
Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So, I mean, what are you expecting to see today? This is the preseason. And
It is.
So this is kind of when teams are still figuring things out. The meta hasn't been fully established.
True.
So who knows? I mean, I think this is an exciting time to see what people, think is strong, what their reads on the meta are. Maybe we'll see some interesting picks. Is there a champion that you're hoping to see?
There's a few new items out there which are pretty incredible. Spear of Sojourn has made its way back into the game.
Yeah.
That was kind of a crazy one for Jax. They switched it up a little bit, so we'll kind of see what happens at this point. I think some of the tank items that came out are what we might be seeing over here. I mean, we saw a lot of crazy stuff back in the day of non-traditional bot laners. I think you might see more of some of those Swain picks and something else on top of it.
Maybe, yeah.
Just because the items are calling for it.
And I've been waiting all fall for every day. Wake
You're
up and I'm
telling
like,
me.
I can't wait for SOS to start. So
You're telling me. I used to sit outside the studio, and once again, this is why my hard work does not go unnoticed. But I used to just sit out there practicing casting by myself, and it's really all paid off at the end of the day, which is incredible.
I would say that, yeah. And I mean, at times it was a bit concerning.
Yeah. Police called on me by the neighbors a few times. I just explained some stuff to them.
All right, and here are so we have the bands up.
Yeah, a couple bands in there already. So Heckram, Caitlin
is out,
pretty standard bands from my point of view.
I will say I'm surprised at the blue side Heckram Caitlin band, because Caitlin is such a strong first pick. Really gives you a lot of bot lane priority. Doesn't have a lot of bad matchups. So for me, that's something I would expect to be banned out from red side. On the red side bans, we see the Pyke and the Vladimir. I assume that Pyke is, maybe a one trick. The support is a really solid Pyke player. I don't think it's the most universally strong champion right now.
Really? See, I beg to differ. I think Pyke is one of those champions that's pretty universal. I mean, if you run a couple runes on him and rush Moby boots, it's somebody that can kind of navigate and make some impact around the map before he can even get back to lane. Next thing you know, he's got 3 assists in there, and he's also giving some team gold. The Silas ban, I mean, we saw a ton of him at Worlds. Just a champion that can essentially do it all. Yeah, he really can.
Really a huge power pick in the mid lane. Fiora, as we mentioned a bit earlier, in a super strong place right now. She's going to be taken off the table. So now let's take a look. What does blue side end up picking first here?
Yeah, what do you...
They're going all the way down. They're going to do the Wukong. Wukong's interesting. I think Wukong is really strong in the jungle right now, but is also still a flex pick. Can go top. So a lot of value there with the Wukong first pick.
You think so? You think they first picked them because they're trying to throw him off, whether they're going to gravitate it over the top? Or
I definitely think it's stronger in the jungle right now, but I do like that you can kind of put it both places, and it makes it, it makes it a bit hard to know exactly what they're trying to do with their draft. There's an interesting pick, Nyla.
Yeah.
I have not seen a lot of Nyla. I've heard that it's pretty good. They're going to go right out there with Nyla Yuumi. Wow.
Yes, that's it. So Nyla, fun fact, is my most banned champion.
Really? Actually, probably mine too.
Yeah, I can't stand her. Don't like her. The champions I play directly affect me.
Get countered by
her.
So
that's kind of it. And then Yuumi, always a great pick. Even if Nyla is able to fall off at some point, you could roll with somebody that can kind of just dominate over the game as long as you just pair with her. And that's it.
Okay, so they're going to go to the Zeri as an answer. And I assume maybe another enchanter like Lulu to match the Yuumi scaling. The Nyla picked so early for me is a bit weird because I actually think it has a really hard time playing into Wukong. I'm not sure if that's actually a great pick here. Zeri got buffed on the last patch and is really,
finally
I think, strong. And
I think that was what, 7 straight nerfs before there was anything at that point?
They decided to give her some love, so they're going to go Seraphine. Another
good pick,
another mid lane flex pick. The only issue I see here is that I think you really want Lulu. And if it's actually Seraphine in the bot lane, I'm not convinced that's a super strong pick. I would have liked to see Lulu here. I think it goes really well into Nyla. You can polymorph for when she tries to go in. It's super good with Zeri for the movement speed. So if this is maybe a mid lane Seraphine, that's okay, but I'm just concerned about Lulu getting banned out in the second round.
It's true. I mean, Lulu is one of those champions. I mean, I've even seen it in games of mine or other games on there where they kind of take a more aggressive and they go like electrocute Lulu and just go full offensive. I mean, she's one of those champions that can do it all depending on what your AD carry is.
For sure.
So I do agree with you. Lulu is an excellent pick. But the Riven and Darius bans coming out over here. So, still worried about the top laner over here.
It seems like they are assuming it's a Wukong jungle as top lane bans are coming out. And Zed, another huge power pick with Ravenous Hydra. Another item that we haven't really talked about, but is in an incredibly strong place. Ravenous Hydra.
And it's same thing. I mean, that's a throwback to seasons ago. Maybe what I mean. It used to be it was the Bloodthirster in farm like hell until you had that thing stacked up, and all people did was play Riven at this point. And that was it. You played Riven, your first item, Bloodthirster. You farm until it's maxed out, and then you go and just solo the whole game.
Exactly.
Wow, what a time that was. I mean, you had like Olaf and Garen. That was it. And Darius. They could stop her. Those were the only 3 champions, but incredible times.
So Viego.
Beautiful pick.
Yeah, Viego's pick. Strong, especially with the Yuumi.
Yes.
A lot of setup for Viego here with the Vex and Nyla. able to get those resets is really huge. The only concern I have is Zeri, super mobile. You really want to see hard CC, easy CC to land. She's very strong at kiting, moving around the map, a lot of movement speed. It's hard to lock her down. So for me, when I see a champion like Viego, like Vex, they are all skill shot reliant. And so the Victor here actually shows that it probably will be Seraphine support.
My guess, yeah, at this point.
Most likely.
Yeah.
Unless it's like a Victor top, but I think that's a little bit unlikely.
That would be a little wild.
That would be a little wild,
yeah.
yeah. So the Seraphine support, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't think it's as strong as the Lulu, frankly, in this comp. I think Lulu actually does really well into all their champions, but the Seraphine definitely has a lot of value, really good scaling. And then the Shen, I think the Shen pick is really good.
Yeah, always. He just adds that extra layer that realistically no other champion can do. And that's just being able to, think I have a guaranteed kill at this point. Most of the time comes from some sort of tower dive, and then next thing you know, because you always forget about it, the Shen ult comes
right
in.
there, yeah.
Yeah, and now you've lost the trade-off and all this stuff. I mean, Renekton, not my favorite pick against a Shen. I mean, he can farm waves pretty easily and all this stuff, but I don't think he has the pushing power to kind of take advantage of the situations when Shen comes out.
That's fair. I mean, Hydra definitely adds a lot of value to champions' ability to shove wave. The only issue, the really big issue I see is if you look at the red side comp, it's a lot of single target champions. Viego wants to focus down one target, Renekton wants to focus down one target, Vex wants to focus down one target, and you have a Shen and a Seraphine.
Yeah.
Their job is to shield those one targets to keep them healthy.
Those,
So it's kind of a huge counter, I think. They also have a huge range advantage, which is really hard for red team to play in. I honestly think this blue side draft is really, really solid and deals with red side draft really well.
Yeah. The problem is that they have Vex and Viego, which are reset heavy champs. So in the case that they are able to get that one kill, it can almost tend to be a steamroll at that point for the rest of the team fight. So the Seraphine has to be great with this whether that's an engage or not. They can line it up in something that Shen and Wukong can immediately follow into.
Seriously.
I mean, Victor has a ton of burst on a team that's relatively not that tanky, paired over to the other side over here. So we'll realistically end up seeing, I mean, we've casted so many matches where it looks one side just from champion select. And isn't the story whatsoever when we get into games. So
absolutely goes into
that's what we love about League. It's never the same. It's always different, no matter how many times you see the exact same matchup. It's always something wild, and that's why we love it over here at the SLS.
Absolutely, it keeps us on our toes. It keeps things interesting. So this will definitely be an exciting match. I mean, like you said, there is a lot of really kind of volatile, reset champions on blue side. A lot of damage characters. I mean, it's pretty much just 5 damage characters on that blue side comp. So if they're able to get a pick, if they're able to focus down their target, their comp will, like you said, just absolutely snowball. But on the blue side, it's really, I think, on them to make sure they're warding well, they're playing smart, they're recognizing the kill threat. They have really good wave clear to push out waves and play a little bit more defensively and let their team scale more into the late game where they're really, really strong. The Victor and Zeri have incredible scaling, but blue side has that early game snowball potential. So for me, it's on Viego, it's on Renekton to get this game rolling early. They need to be snowballing the game. They need to be moving around the map, getting gold, snowballing their team ahead, putting that Zeri Victor behind it, and never letting them get to the late game.
It's true, but it's hard. I mean, we've seen before the Renekton. He is one of those champions that does fall off hard in the late game, but we've also seen the versatility come out of him because he has that guaranteed stun if you're able to get onto it. So we've seen some crazy plays where you're using your slice and dice and your flash and you're able to get on that one target that you want. But like you said, there's still a Shen in this picture. It's hard to eliminate that one target you can get a stun on when Shen is able to be there almost 24/7 at this point. That's why I feel like Renekton's kind of a rough pick into here. He's a single isolation target who can bully Shen in the beginning, but I think that starts to even and maybe even fall off later in the laning phase. The only advantage he has is that he can keep farming it until Shen is able to come back into lane.
Yeah.
But how much can he really do with that? That's the
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. And I mean, as soon as Renekton is no longer able to one-shot a target, he's useless, right?
Right.
He doesn't do anything. I mean, Shen has more utility for his team. He has a shield. He has an AoE taunt. He has the auto block. So yeah, for me, there's absolutely a timer on this blue side comp. They need to really snowball this game. I'd say before 15 minutes. They need to have a pretty significant lead before 15 minutes. With that being said, like you said, there's always that kind of room for just outplay craziness to happen, especially when you have champions like Viego who can get one reset and just completely turn a team fight. And that is what I think is interesting about that blue side comp.
Right.
A lot of fun champions that have a lot of outplay potential.
It's true, and I mean, who knows? Maybe they're playing it. They'll feed the victor to eternity, and then what they do from there is they just use the CC that they have to lock down the vicar.
Right.
One shot him, and then Viego takes him, and now you got this 13-4 Victor who can just wipe the whole team. So who knows? Who knows what it is? It was back in the old days when Mordekaiser could take a copy of somebody, and or Yorick, one of them.
I think it was Mordekaiser.
I think it was Mordekaiser, yeah. And next thing you know, you just have him on your team,
and
that used to be the thing. You give them 20 kills, they're legendary, they're full build, and then you have a whole team like Leona, Mumu, everything to just lock them down and just destroy this one target. And next thing you know, you got this 20-2 Vayne on your team that can wipe the board.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It
Incredible.
Really is. It's the feed the win strategy now.
It is.
Because you have Viego, you have objective bounties, which give you increased gold if you're behind on objectives.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean honestly, like you said, if you give 20 kills to a squishy Victor or Zeri who can get blown up easily, we're good.
Make sure your red's okay, your blue's okay, stuff like that. I don't really think there's going to be any action in the first few minutes of this game. For the most part.
30 seconds.
All right, and it looks like as you said, everyone just kind of standard defending their spot. This Wukong ward is kind of a little bit interesting.
What do you need it for? You sell it and buy a sweeper.
Yeah, the only problem is that now they can easily go clear that ward and get the XP advantage on one of their solo laners for the earlier level up. So, not sure about that. It doesn't actually give them a lot of info either. But either way, it doesn't look like too much is going on. Everyone just kind of watching the entrances, making sure no cheeky invades or anything like that happens. Looking to play the game pretty standard so far. Viego looking to start on his blue and then path up to the top side. Like we said, trying to snowball that Renekton early.
Which is a little weird because a lot of Viegos that you kind of know these days start over onto the red side and kind of make their way. I mean, they're so good in a 1v1 scenario just because of his passive, the Blade of the Rune King. Plus, he's just able to do a ton of damage so early, and he has CC, he has invisibility, he has attack speed, he has damage. So he has so much in his kit that can kind of allow him to do that.
Yeah, so Renekton already getting buoyed out, missed his Q early, and that caused him to take a really bad trade, actually. He still has some wave priority, so should hit level 2 first. But Chen already off to a pretty good start here. Looking to trade autos now with the Renekton, get back some lane priority. They're looking for this pivotal level 2 advantage. Renekton has that 1 minion advantage, so Chen will need to be careful on this melee dying here. He's blocking up. He needs to be a bit careful as we path over to see Wukong just clearing Raptors.
Yeah, Shen is one of those champions that he's very sneaky in the damage, especially if he lands his Q on you.
Yeah.
He's able to start doing your max HP, and you don't realize actually how much damage that is. I mean, a lot of people, you kind of see him rush like a Tiamat at the beginning, and he ends up building it into a cleaver and everything, depending on how you're going it. But he really does do a lot of damage. I mean, people sleep on it for the most part, but Wukong able to clear his jungle pretty effectively. I mean, It's gonna be close for jungle.
Yeah, it looks like the Viego will be slightly ahead of him. This is big, as you see both junglers passing the top. Renekton has a lot of priority for this crab if it actually comes to here. Or it looks like they might invade on this Gromp, so this could be the first skirmish of the game. This is really huge. They're gonna find Wukong on his Gromp, looking to lock him down here. Renekton blocking out his entrance, forcing him down into Viego. Here we go. He's gonna have to flash the wall here, and that's gonna be Gromp taken away by Viego. Smite is down for Wukong, so really huge invade, really well played.
Yeah.
You know, Viego pathing towards a strong lane that he knows is going to have priority and push, and then uses that to punish the Wukong, taking away the Gromp. So really solid early game from red side right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Knowing the power that Renekton has in the early game allows you to give you, like you said, some scuttle crab and some freedom to kind of invade this blue and Gromp up. But realistically, that can only go on for so long. Like you said, you're looking at sub 15 over here.
Yeah.
Once the game could change just by default. So you have to figure out what you're going to do. And so far, they've been playing to that advantage. It seems like they know the system that they're in at this point. So they're making it work.
Absolutely. So Viego jumping off to a huge advantage here. He actually just decided to drop his Krugs and go right to the bottom crab to double crab Wukong. And now Wukong really kind of in no man's land, doesn't exactly know what to do. It looks like he's walking all the way top to get this Krug, but Viego is wrapping around the bot lane. They need to be careful. Exhaust going down early onto the Zeri. Stun's going to land from Viego. They're both going to flash forward. Damage not quite there. Ignite is ticking down. First blood for the Yuumi. That's a huge play. Both flashes from Seraphine and Zeri being expended here, but looks like Wukong looking to maybe find a kill in the top lane. Renekton is so low, looking to execute. He is actually going to execute. Incredible play from Renekton right there. Has his TP as well to get back to top lane. So this is all going to the side of red. It's going to snowball into a Raptor take for Viego as well. This is huge.
Yeah, a good play to know that, hey, listen, this is to the point of how many seconds I need to make it an execute. We saw there Wukong unable to chase him, and even he knew that. He backed off at this point. But why not go for the execution? I mean, you don't know where he is over there. So huge play for the red side on top of being able to kill that bot lane. I mean, sometimes that's all you need is that one kill.
And Viego, I interrupted. He's looking on mid lane. Just so much action here going on to the Victor. Just going to find some chunk, but not enough.
No, not enough at all. And wow, I mean, Victor, I mean, look at that damage right there. That was a pretty decent amount at this point. Yeah.
And good job on Victor, you know, holding on to the flash, doesn't have to really expend anything. Recognizes there's not much actual threat, but this is, you know, such a great start for Viego. He's up 12 CS onto the Wukong, and Wukong's pathing is really just a bit awkward. He's had so many camps taken and hasn't really had a clear direction to go. He's kind of just running around everywhere on the map looking to get what he can. It's really hard. Because of that, it's really hard for him to kind of find these gank windows.
It is, yeah. Especially top, I feel like, because we're kind of looking over here. Renekton keeps pushing it. He wants to be able to do his own thing because, for the most part, if the Shen lands the taunt, there's no trade for Renekton.
Yeah, exactly.
He can immediately drop his block autos, which stops his whole W.
No, and there's no flash on Zeri or Seraphine. Viego knows this. They're just going to go right onto Zeri. Flash coming down. That's an easy kill. He's going to look for the Seraphine, but...
Yeah, I mean, that's something that you're targeted. I mean, he had the Seraphine in his eyes right there, and he said, sorry, you're not the one I want, and is able to get over there and flash for the Zeri just right there to put her behind as much as possible. So it could be something that you see that hurts you. She is one of those champions that realistically never falls off. So you have to do what you can in this early game. You're going to be able to pick over a free dragon with no contestant over here at this point. So they're off to an incredible start. An incredible start.
Yeah, they're up over 1,000 gold. Got the first dragon. Viego, I mean, honestly, Viego has just been playing really, really well.
He has.
Taking control of this game, knowing what lanes to path to, punishing the flashes bot lane, really controlling the tempo of this early game.
Yeah, and that's what Viego does on top of it, you know what I mean? Renekton trying to do what he can to kind of trade out with them, but I would say that's about all you can do at this point. There's really not too much you can do about the Shen.
Yeah.
He's one of those champions that can bull you in lane. Like I said, he has some sneaky damage, and just a powerful champion overall. He really does more damage than you think he lets on, even though you just build him essentially full tank.
Yeah. No, his autos are really strong in the early game, and honestly, I think that's why Renekton is actually kind of a bad pick into Shen.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't really do anything. Whenever Renekton tries to go in, you just put down your little auto block and taunt him, and it's unplayable for
it's true.
Renekton.
I agree. I mean, Renekton, he's a safe pick.
Yeah.
He's always one of those champions who no matter what, you're going to be able to out-farm your opponent for the most point. He doesn't necessarily lose lane, but I think he's wasted in terms of this matchup.
Exactly.
Because he's such a powerful champion that he's one of those champions that at level 2, level 3, he can just all in somebody and he can destroy him for the whole rest of the game. But against champions like Shen, unable to do that at this point.
Yeah. No, very true. So the Renekton definitely having a little bit of trouble, but still up in farm, doing fine. He's gonna build into that Bork and maybe able to do some more damage to Shen once she hits that spike. But if we look at the bot lane, kill onto Nyla, kill onto Yumi, excuse me, both of them doing really well. But surprisingly, Zeri able to keep up in CS.
Yeah, even with those 2 deaths.
Yeah, despite the 2 deaths.
Right, exactly. I mean, this is a whole different story in the mid lane. I mean, look at this. Victor with 92 CS at 9 minutes into this thing. And Vex also at 80 CS. I mean, this is a match of they both know nothing's really going on at this point, and they're just farming it. Both of the champions have the ability to wave clear with 2 or 3 abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, that's it. And that's probably all we'll see for the most part. I mean, we saw a Viego gank over here. Let's see
here
if we
comes
get another
Viego.
one.
It's going to get the flash out of Victor. Good flash to get out of the Viego. W would have been dead if not for the flash. So good gank by Viego, punishing Victor a little bit, but he's able to escape with his life.
Yeah, and Viego about to pull almost a 20-point CS lead over this Wukong right there. The whole Gromp invasion kind of threw him off track, unable to do anything with it, which is very unfortunate. And Viego's just essentially had the map at this point. Wukong knows he can't fight him. Viego can kind of do what he wants. His team is responsible at this point. Most of the red side's lanes have been pushed up past the river for almost the whole game, so he has first response over here. And it looks like he's trying to take a Rift Herald for himself.
So this, again, he's using that top lane push pressure from the Renekton, and that wave is just shoved under Shen's turret. He can't really come to respond. Wukong takes a base, so this is just a free Herald for Red.
Even Yumi getting in on this action over here.
So kind of interesting that Yumi's actually moving here. A little bit of threat on
I don't think the vision
Nyla
is there, so I don't know that they know Yumi's gone for now. So Nyla has a little bit of time by herself.
Yeah.
I mean, it is dangerous over here for it to happen. I'm not quite sure what the rotation was exactly.
Yeah, my only assumption is that maybe they assumed that Seraphine or Zeri would rotate up to contest the Rift Herald. It didn't really look like they were.
No.
So, they weren't able to dive to Nyla, so it actually turns out being really huge because she gets solo XP, just farm safely under her turret.
She gets solo XP anyways.
That is true.
Yeah, that's why I hate her.
Yumi, that is part of the unfortunate
I can't
thing.
stand her. There's a reason why they removed it from Mordekaiser, and then they give it to her anyway. Yeah.
It's not okay.
Yeah.
Always ahead of you in XP, no
matter
how far behind she is.
Exactly, and then you give her a kill and assist,
and the game's over.
And she's doing pretty good over here. But like we said, Zeri actually still ahead in
still ahead in CS,
yeah.
So, I mean, Zeri ahead in CS, a little bit of a gold lead, or CS lead, excuse me, for Victor, but Viego is just so far up again. Still almost at 20 CS lead, actually,
Yeah, I almost think it's unfortunate that he got 2 assists out of all of that stuff, because imagine what he could have with these 2 kills. At this point, he already has his Blade the Rune King, so to me, it looks like he might be going Kraken as a second item.
Yeah.
Most people that you see go Blade the Rune King do that in almost like the sort of attack speed type thing.
Something that's strong now on this new season is the Jack Show build. I'm interested to see if he actually ends up building that.
Right.
Jack Show on Bruisers has been really, really strong. So curious to see what he does. If he goes Jack Show, it would give them a little bit more of a front line.
Yes.
To soak up some of that Zeri damage. But again, maybe he just does go for like the one-shot potential. Just wants to burst at one target. So here, Wukong on the bottom side of the map, but
Doesn't know the dragon.
Doesn't know the dragon is being started,
Yeah.
and Nyla is just sitting there by herself.
But he might.
the two,
They might
they're now
figure it out
locking
in a
up.
second here. Zeri
Yeah.
rotating over onto this
Zeri
one.
needs to be
Get
careful.
a little
Flash.
close.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This is gonna go right on. Here comes the Yumio, dashing away is Zeri. There's gonna be one kill already onto the Wukong. Zeri going over the wall, barely able to escape, but flashing forward is the Nyla. There's one looking for the double. Seraphine's gonna go down, and it's just a wipe for red team. They're gonna turn back onto the dragon, and
Take it.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, Zeri kept walking.
Yeah.
I really don't know if the issue was panning the camera over to mid lane and
Yeah.
looking for some sort of roam
Yeah.
over there, because it didn't seem to me like that they knew that Dragon was being taken
started, yeah.
at this point, because way too close. You see the flash burn instantly try
Yeah.
to save face, but not able to do it. And that's 3 picks. We're looking at 5-0 right now.
5-0, a 4K gold lead so early in the game. Shen is going to be
Shen
forced
flashed.
to flash
Wow.
away. He was really worried about, I think, the empowered Q heal on the Renekton being able to turn the fight. So flashing out of that, he's going to pick up the wave. But yeah, again, it looked like maybe some miscommunication or something, like you said, but Zeri just walking
Yeah.
into Viego.
Unable to see what was really going on at that point. Way too close to multiple people at the Dragon Pit, and that leads to 3 kills that realistically shouldn't have happened.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, they were kind of late to even contest that dragon. It didn't look like they were really set up for it, and they kind of just walked in one by one.
Yeah.
A little bit unfortunate for sure, but that is going to mean Nyla is now 3-0 with a completed shield bow, Merc treads, and a crit cloak. So it is a very
little rough.
sad world
It's a
if
little
you're
rough.
Zeri right now.
Yeah.
The CS being even doesn't really
No.
matter anymore.
It doesn't matter, and even picking up a 300 gold bounty at
Yeah.
this point. So, I mean, you know, take it from me. Like I said, my most banned champion, just banner. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to even risk it. If in solo queue, it's a 8% chance.
Yep.
Just forget about it.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
I cannot stand her immunity
Yeah.
to auto
To
attacks.
auto attack,
I
yeah.
can't stand it. Please, just do
All
me
for
a favor for
passives.
the rest of the season. Just ban her out.
Yeah.
It would be
And
amazing.
she's wasting no time. Knows that Zeri has no flash. The Yumi is going to come over the top, and they're
That's
so
it,
low.
yeah.
Kill going over to Yumi. Seraphine able to escape with her life, but needs to be careful as Viego is looking to punish the flash to Seraphine on the bottom lane. She's going to have to just leave this turret, and it's a bit unplayable right now if you're
Yeah.
Zeri. You can never walk up to a wave anymore. Whenever
No.
Yumi has ultimate, she's just going to kill you.
And that's the problem, even with the safety net of Zeri. Renekton knows something's going on.
Yeah.
He's playing a dangerous game
he
right
is.
here. He really is. He knows in his heart. He knows. There it
That
is. And he
Wukong's
finally
there.
backs off.
Yeah, he does a
Yeah.
good job of just wasting time of Wukong. I mean, the bottom lane is just getting shoved in, and Wukong sitting in the top lane, you know, kind of being a little bit desperate right now. But
and he
Renekton
goes-
actually face checked. He's just gonna be away.
He's
Okay.
gonna get out of here. I don't think Wukong has enough damage to kind of finish him
Yeah,
off.
but
Make a
Wukong
little
needs to be
trade.
careful. He's turning on him.
Shen!
And
Oh, Shen, help your buddy out, man. Wukong losing a flash for no reason.
Yeah,
That's going to go over to the whole team over here at this
Yeah.
point. You're igniting more flames into
Yeah.
this fire that's going on right here. Very unfortunate. A
Yeah.
miscommunication. You know you have the brush. You know you have the vision there with the pink ward that
Yeah.
he can't see what's going on. And Renekton's starting to do a ton of damage.
Yeah,
at this
Renekton
point.
at that Bork spike is gonna ult. There's no flash on the
That's
Shen.
it.
He's just dead.
Wow.
It's a bit of a horror. I mean, Shen. It's a bit of a horror. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they're doing. It looks like a little bit of miscommunication from Wukong and Shen there. As you know, Shen goes back to get his wave. Wukong keeps chasing.
Right.
Blows the flash, and then Shen, you know, being kind of disrespectful, walking out, looking like he's maybe trying to pull the wave or something. Can't really do that. But oh my goodness, Vex is just going right on the Seraphine. Has no flash. Bursts her to about less than a quarter HP, but she's able to live.
The little raptors reset on Wukong.
Yeah,
too.
Wukong is
I
a
mean,
sad
how
monkey
how
today.
much more do you have to endure at this point? But seriously, I mean, we talked about how much of it can be a hard matchup for Renekton, and maybe we're kind of looking at with no bruiser and everything like here, Renekton kind of goes the tank route, which we do see sometimes. But he went full blown for the Bork, and he says, "Listen, I'm the better top laner.
Yeah, I
I
don't
can
care.
solo
Yeah.
you.
And
And
look-
he does.
It looks like he's
Yeah.
going the one-shot build. Flash forward from Viego. The Shenna is going to be over the top. Here comes the Seraphino looking to lock them down, and it's just going to be a disengage. The Rift Herald breaking the mid lane turret. They need to be careful, though, because Yuumi kind of hurts.
Yeah, and I actually like that dive right there. It's a calculated
Yeah,
dive at this
for
point.
sure.
They know the Rift Herald's charging up. They know it's going to get a turret in there. Sure, you're going to take one tower shot, maybe two,
Yeah.
but you have the ability to kind of push them out and get another charge in there. And blue side struggling. I
Yeah.
mean, that
Yeah.
might be an understatement at this point, as they've yet to get a kill on the board.
Yeah. Yeah, Nova is just, yeah, they're in a tough spot. Nova's in a tough spot. I mean, Blue Streak's playing so incredibly well on this red side here, really controlling every aspect of the game. Renekton, like you said, Renekton looks like he's doing the one-shot build. Oh, and here they're just going to keep going in. A huge dive. Oh, it's going to lock down two. Flash away
There
from
it
Seraphine.
is.
It's just too little, too late. She's going to go down. The ultimate doesn't
The
come out.
resets
There's a
come
double
over.
kill, and here come the resets. And like we said, you know, we talked about
Yup.
the conditions of the game, and we said if they're able to snowball it early, it doesn't matter. If the other team has scaling, it doesn't matter.
No, you're able to pick up the
Oh,
Seraphine
man, it's
kill
horror.
and
Yep.
throw the double stun into here. Renekton able to
Yeah.
just wipe him over here. And the poor Victor, I mean, he has done such a good job controlling that mid lane,
Yeah.
even with all the pressure and how far Viego was ahead with. I mean, you can see over here, Viego still only has
One
one
kill.
kill at this point. One kill. I mean, I would hate to be in
Yeah.
that situation. I'd be the guy flaming my team.
Yeah,
why'd
give
you
me a
why'd
kill.
you
Why
take
do I
my
have
kills?
7
Just give me this.
assists? Yeah.
Exactly. But he's got to be
Seriously.
a good sport over here at this
Yeah.
point. And this is a domination match, is what
Yeah,
I'm seeing
I mean,
right here.
this is just an absolute statement from Blue Streaks in their first match, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the one fallen leaf on the Viego is absolutely dominating this game.
Yeah.
I would say it's. You know, his team is obviously playing well, following up on his place, but everything
Right.
is happening through him. He's controlling the pace of the game, controlling the tempo, just doing such a fantastic job. Really like what I see from him, from his team. Just fantastic gameplay.
Yeah, and I agree. And, you know, this is our first time. This is the first season of it all. But it seems like Blue Streaks, I mean, if you're a team going against them later on, you want something that can shut down that bot lane. Because so
Yeah.
far that what we've seen over here is they push through bot. They've got bot fed. And he just has the ability to, I believe that's Gizmo,
Yeah.
just take over the game
Yeah,
right
seriously.
here on top of it. And same thing, you're right, with Fallen Leaf. He has the ability to kind of make it and judge the map and
Yeah.
know his matchups
Yeah,
at this point.
absolutely.
So, an excellent team. It almost seems like they synergize pretty well. I'd be shocked to hear they don't play together a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah. Here comes the Baron though, and looks like they're gonna try to force a fight here. They peel off the Baron. Look, huge Seraphino followed up by the Wukong. This could actually be maybe a turning point, but there's just no damage to follow up. The wallets are just too big on the side of red team. Renekton is in the middle, just destroying everyone. Shen
Yeah.
is gonna go down eventually. Tanks for as long as he can. Zeri running away with her life, looking to escape back.
She
to
made it
base.
out,
She
and
did.
I'm going to say my heart skipped a beat at that point because I thought they were about to get a kill on the board.
Yeah.
And it did not happen at that point, which is very unfortunate. I mean, you had the Seraphine, the Wukong combo.
Yeah.
You should realistically
Yeah.
get a kill at that point.
You would
You have a ton
imagine.
of damage coming out over there.
You
so
would
what
imagine that would
happened?
be a kill. And I think that's just an instance of, you know, if you look across the board on the items here
Yeah.
and how far ahead
The
they
difference,
are.
yes.
You know, if they're an even point, I'm pretty sure they just are.
That's
they
a
get wiped.
three
Yeah, they just get
4-man
wiped.
wipe
Yeah.
easily. You're pushing them off Baron at this stuff, but in this case it goes over to
Yeah.
Blue Streaks right here, and they're able to pick up this Baron. They're able to pick up a 15-0 lead.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
I don't want to jinx anything too early, but this could be a perfect game for Blue Streaks.
it could be. It might be the first perfect game
I've
think we've
never
ever
seen a perfect game,
I've
yeah.
never seen one either, and I kind of hope they keep it, but I also kind of hope they fountain dive and die at the end.
That would be exciting.
yeah, that would be kind of
Or
worth
maybe,
it in my
you know,
book.
maybe they throw in
and lose.
the game flips. You
Yeah,
never know.
exactly. You don't know. That's the beautiful part.
That's
right
a beautiful
here.
part of League of Legends.
But yeah, Prowler's Claw over going to Renekton on top
Yeah.
of it. So I mean, this man is just looking to destroy anything on the planet. Wukong caught in his jungle, not able.
It's
to do
not
anything.
even his jungle
Yeah,
anymore. To
it
be
isn't.
honest, Viego is just going to follow up with the reset on the Seraphine. There's one Zeri hiding
Yeah.
under her turret.
And at this point, what do you think? Skip just skip picking them up, right? I mean, they're
Yeah,
so
you
far
just-
behind. What's the point?
Exactly.
That's what
You're nerfing yourself when you pick them up.
exactly. That's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Just stay in the
Just
Viego
stay on
form,
Viego, that's
even
fair.
though you have 2 kills at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah.
That's it. But yeah, a tough one, to start off.
Yeah,
Seriously,
indeed.
very tough one.
So Prowler's got Renekton, that's good, like you mentioned. He's just going for that one-shot potential, really looking to set up Viego.
Yeah.
Viego opts for the Divine Thunder, a solid bruiser build. You know, they're so ahead, it doesn't really matter what they build.
It doesn't matter at this point. And, you know, I'd like to put out that I'm not going to take any blame for this, but let's just say you got it wrong.
True.
I said the Renekton match was going to win it this whole time.
That is true.
I also said Nova was going to... I think there was a team flip. I think we had it wrong from the start. It looks like the teams have swapped. So I don't know if this
honestly,
is a fixed
huge
game
comeback.
or yeah,
Huge
exactly.
comeback
Yeah,
from
yeah.
the side of Nova.
For real, yeah. I think this is a fixed match.
Maybe, but here
Yeah.
we go. They're on the mid lane inhibitor turret, and
That's gonna go. I mean, they can
what
keep
is
pushing
now
with it.
Nova Gaming.
Yes, now Nova Gaming, previously identified as Blue Streaks.
Yeah. Or
But
Nova Esports, I believe. Excuse me.
right. So here it is over here. So, I mean, they have free reign to do whatever they want. They can push the inhibitor, but they're looking at to play it safe. Hopefully to keep this perfect game going.
Yeah.
They're kind of giving me the reminiscence of Immortals back in the day, where they'd have like, you know, no deaths.
Yeah, and just running
win.
things over.
They won't
Shen's
even lose
face
towers,
checking.
but
Here
that's
they
a
go.
stack over
this
here.
could be the end of it all for Blue Streaks. There's going to be 2 going down very quickly. They're looking to find the Shen. Viego over the wall with Yuumi on his back, looking to find the Zeri. He's exhausted. Flashing forward is Viego. Zeri is kiting pretty well. The Shen is going to come over the top, helping her survive just a little bit longer, but that's not going to be enough. It's too little, it's too late. Viego's way too strong, looking to collect all the kills that were denied to him in this early game. And he is going to find himself the triple kill.
And
actually, Yuumi steals it, the double kill.
Yeah, that's it, and it's an ace, and that's mostly going to be end of the game. But I'm going to give a ton of credit. You said it right there. Zeri actually kiting to
really
the
well.
best of ability, like possible at this point.
If she had just a little bit more gold or items, you know, it could have been different. But
that's 23-0.
That's 23-0. That's a
Wow.
perfect game. That is a huge performance from Nova.
That is something right there. Let me tell you that right now. I've never seen it. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, they just played incredibly well.
Yeah, they really did.
Huge respect to them. From minute 1, you know, really had a solid game plan. They stuck to it. They executed it well. They executed their champions really well. They knew what their win conditions were.
Yeah.
And they executed them on them phenomenally.
They did. They got us a little bit with the Renekton over there, but he was just someone that was able to pop off and just say, hey, listen, look, I know your ability rotation. I know when to go in. I know when to do all this stuff. I know when to push the lane and get my jungler ahead. Yeah. And he was actually a huge impact when it comes to early game. In Viego, incredible match right there. I mean, obviously everybody going flawless at this point, but I think he was great for the early game to get the bot lane ahead, to get himself ahead and rely on top lane. Yeah. And congratulations to you. I mean, that's a good game. That's a perfect game right there.
Big first game. We're gonna hop over to the team.
Do want to highlight at this point that, you know, it's a tough loss. At this point, we saw some great things, especially from Sneaky in the mid lane on that Victor.
Yeah.
I mean, someone that was able to prove himself and be able to farm as great as he did, even in a tough matchup like that. It's unfortunate he was not able to, you know, mitigate what was going on at that point because Victor has such high damage. And the kiting from Zeri and everything, the talent's there.
Yeah.
You just
Absolutely.
All the pieces of the puzzle are there. You just got to figure out where to put them at this point.
And for me, if I had to kind of from the outside looking in on these two teams, I would say the biggest thing that kind of set these two teams apart seemed to be preparation.
Right.
It looked like I'm getting them confused now because they were on the wrong side for the entire game.
Yes.
But Nova, I believe it was Nova, seemed so prepared, right?
Yes.
They knew their draft. They knew what their draft was supposed to do, and they executed it really well.
Right.
Whereas on the other side,
Blue Streak
had some moments that I assume were miscommunication, kind of walking into that dragon, the top lane play when Renekton was able to, blow the flash of Wukong and then kill the Shen.
Yeah.
It looked like some miscommunication. They weren't all on the same page, but I agree. There were some really shining moments. Victor able to farm really well, hold his own in that mid lane, avoid all the ganks that came at him. He didn't die to any gank. Zeri at the end, showing off her kiting ability. Still keeping up in CS2 despite so much focus on that bot lane.
2-3 deaths at that point.
Yeah.
Right. And I think the comfortability was there. It was like, hey, let's put you on Victor. Let's put you on Zeri. All we have to do is make it to 40 minutes.
Yeah.
And the talent is there 100%. And if that is the game plan, absolutely it's going to work. I would say about 92% of the time.
Yeah.
But the unfortunate part is you went against a Nova, who is an early game dominant team that we're finding out right now.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't work against that. So like I said, a few times before, the talent is absolutely there on Blue Streaks. I mean, we can see it even when you're 0-5 at this point.
Yeah,
we know what you can do.
Absolutely.
And you either got to change that up and say, hey, listen, what we're lacking is the early game potential. Let's start switching up our champion pool. Or you stick with that and play a little safer, play all this stuff, try to ward the map a little better, and make it to that late game where you can excel.
A little bit more of it. And even we saw at Baron, good alt combos, 4-man Seraphine all into the Wukong. So the pieces were there. It's about putting them together. I think that's very well said. We're going to take a quick break, about 2 minutes. We have so much more action coming at you tonight. So stick around. We'll be right back in just a moment. welcome back. I think that was
Yes.
a little bit longer than 2 minutes, but we are back nonetheless, and we have some more exciting action from the Piltover division this time. We can get right into the fan base.
Yeah, let's do it up.
Here we go. So, all right, I am sorry. All right, so we're getting right into it. Graves is going to be banned off from blue side right off the bat.
Yeah.
Another pick that I sometimes see as a first pick, so kind of weird that
Right.
blue side's banning, and Bard.
One of those champions that you kind of just automatically assume, like, it's game over
If
somebody
Graves picks it.
You just think that it's automatically a Smurf, in,
Yeah.
like solo queue
Yeah.
or flex or something like that. Yeah, Bard and Nami banned out here. Pretty aggressive bot laner support champion.
Yeah, Bard I don't see banned a lot. The Nami makes sense. You know, it takes away
Right.
the Lucian Nami option on red side, which is
Which
really,
is
really
kind
strong.
of shut down at this point because they changed how electrocute works with Nami.
Yeah. So yeah, for sure that it's still a strong 2v2. Definitely
is,
not
yeah.
as OP as it used to be. And then Shannon's gonna be taken out along with Yon, and then there's the
And then
Hecarim
the
ban.
Hecarim, yeah.
So a lot of AD carries still on the table. Would not be surprised if I saw a Caitlyn, maybe a Varus or a Karma. It's actually gonna be Mordekaiser. So Mordekaiser is another really solid flex pick. Can go into the jungle, super strong in the jungle right now, but can also go top and maybe even mid, depending on the matchup. So I like the Mord first pick.
Yeah, Mordekaiser, one of those champions. He's just great at any scenario in the game. I mean, especially if you're up against tanks at this
Yeah,
point.
seriously.
He's a champion that essentially becomes unkillable. He can do whatever. He can go wherever. He can isolate somebody. And when it comes to these dragon and these baron fights, I mean, he can pull the jungler straight out.
Yeah,
And you're
exactly.
looking at an automatic, essentially smite steal at this point, regardless where it's at. But great champion. Victor over here in the mid lane, most
Yeah.
likely. Don't really see him played anywhere else, but we've seen that he's actually an excellent pick.
Yeah,
coming
seriously.
up
I
over
mean,
here.
he did really well last game. So, you know, good to see the victor. It's a good blind pick. Doesn't have a lot of bad matchups. And then the Wukong answer. So, two champions from last game also
Right.
being picked up in the second game here. The Wukong probably going towards the jungle. The victor going towards the mid lane. The only issue that I see that we also saw last game is it's a lot of scaling. Can be a little bit rough in the early game. Victor, you know, a good laner, but doesn't have that early game pressure that some other mid laners have. Wukong
Right.
really wants to kind of just farm to 6 and get his ultimate.
Silas
Silas
picked
answer, yeah.
my favorite champion of
Really?
all time. Incredible.
Silas is a cool champion.
Incredible
yeah.
champion. I mean, this is a man that can do it all. I mean, you'll have to see the Everfrost build with him over there like that.
Yeah.
And he kind of gets that tankiness to him and that guaranteed Q at this point. I build him a little differently, but just a champion that I've averaged like an 84% win ratio.
That's a high win ratio.
Over like, 3-4 accounts.
Yeah.
Able to make it into essentially any division
Yeah.
that I need to. Just a
Broken
beautiful,
champion.
beautiful champion.
Yeah,
right
so
there.
so Silas and then Renata being picked up. I mean, the Silas pick too, still a flex pick. So honestly, Mordekaiser or Silas could both go jungle.
Right.
Both of them are strong junglers. The Tarek pick into the Renata glass. Interesting.
Very interesting. I mean, he's a beefcake.
Yeah.
That's what he is. I mean, he's somebody who can absorb actually anything he needs to.
Yeah.
If he plans it right, if he wants to, he can make his whole team immune to as well. So you have that kind of engage or defense over there. It's weird
It is a bit
seeing
weird,
it
yeah.
on this team comp, especially unless you're playing to do something crazy like. You pick some other top lane engage over here, cast your ultimate, and then you get immunity for a couple seconds.
I assume the logic behind it is that if you ult when Renata is ulting your team,
Yeah.
then it kind of counters the Renata ult and it counters the Silas engage
Yes.
with the Renata ult. So just to kind of answer to that, I don't actually think the lane matchup is that good into Renata. And it looks like all top lane bans coming out now. So they assume that it is in fact a jungle Mordekaiser, and a mid lane Silas here.
Yeah.
Potentially still though could be
Top.
flexed top.
Could be top.
Yeah, could be top. Mord could be Silas jungle.
This season's a little weird. I've seen
Yeah.
some wild stuff, so
For sure.
could be in the bot lane. Who knows?
Indeed.
This is
Renekton.
preseason we're talking
Exactly.
about. So
Anything
everybody's figuring
is
this stuff
possible
out.
at this
Yeah.
point. Yeah, Renekton's going to get banned out. Along with Orin, Sejuani, and Fiora. So fourth pick, I expect to see the AD carry picked up right here, and then they'll give the counter pick to top lane. Not exactly sure what they're going to run with Taric. I could see Varus being a pretty solid pick here. I mean, Caitlyn's still open. I don't think Caitlyn Taric is very good, though. You have Kai'Sa still open, a strong pick, and it's actually Yasuo.
Yasuo, I mean, with the Wukong ult, it can be pretty deadly over there.
So is Yasuo bottom, I assume?
That's my guess,
Yeah.
too, as well. You might...
They're theoretically all. I mean,
you
like
might
Victor
see-
can go top,
Right.
Wukong can go top. There's definitely some flexibility. I mean, there's a
Right.
lot of flexibility, honestly, in both drafts right now. I assume it is Yasuo bot. The only thing about Yasuo bot is like, yeah, you can just pick Caitlyn, and it feels really
Right.
sad.
It's a little tough. She can harass you every time you
So
go up
much
to
range,
queue or farm
yeah.
that lane. And it's hard to get onto her with your combo because she can just net
She just
herself right
nets
out of
away,
it.
exactly.
It is a little tough. I mean, Yasuo, he's one of those champions where it's hard not to average almost perfect farm or 9 CS a minute on
Yeah.
him. Just because his ability to clear waves.
Yeah.
He can be very aggressive, especially with Taric over there. He just puts his passive and his shield over on him, and he kind of stun him.
Yeah.
So you can kind of look for that engage over there. But I'm assuming it's going to be Wukong Yasuo. I wonder if they're going to pick another champion to kind of build up on this Yasuo and kind of just funnel him. At
Yeah,
this
I
point.
mean, Diana is up. If you want,
Yeah.
I mean, you could always put
Diana, Malphite.
Diana jungle, put Wukong top, something like that. Interested to see what the last pick is. I will say it's actually Mundo. I think Mundo's actually a pretty
Yeah.
solid pick here. I actually
He's
think
a-
Mundo's in a really good spot right
Yeah,
now.
he is. He's one of those guys, especially with the new items, that he's kind of taken a liking to.
Yeah.
One of those guys is
Seriously.
able to just scale indefinitely with his health.
Yeah.
So we got ourselves a match over here.
Yeah, so I mean, I think one thing that's kind of weird for me is that you see Silas picked, and then they pick Taric into Silas.
Yeah.
A lot of really, really good alts for Silas to take this
Right.
game. The Victor ult is super strong. I mean, you have the Wukong ult for engage. So kind of giving Silas a lot of tools that maybe you don't want to give to him. But
Which is true. I mean, he is one of those champions. Yeah, they can kind of abuse and take it all. I mean, he does pretty well against Victor too, is what on his own. So he does have the possibility to kind of just all in at this point. But going up over to the top thing is going to be spotted by Dr. Mundo over here. Throws a little, World Cup at him to kind of do it out. But Llama not moving necessarily yet. Looks like it could be a possible just stay there and take the red, but they might make their way out of it at the same time.
yeah. So looking at summoner spells, is this a level 1? Okay,
Uh-oh,
here
we're
they go.
gonna
It's
see
gonna
ourselves
be
a
a whole
beautiful invade.
5v5 from level 1, and I can't even tell what's happening. But Yasuo picks up the first blood, and oh, it's a bit of a disaster for blue team. Flashing over the wall is Viego. They're so low. Another one's gonna go down, and oh my goodness, can he finish off the kill onto Taric? Taric running for his life. Potion ticking. Viego's not gonna find it. It's an absolute horror for the side
No!
of blue here. Oh my goodness, it's
Oh,
a disaster.
my
If your blue
Lord.
team, no one dies, and not only does no one die, look at the summoner spells that
Yeah, that's a very
blue
unfortunate.
Blue team used a ghost and 1 flash.
Yeah. So far the
It's an
common
absolute
theme is you
disaster.
start off 0-4 at least.
Oh my
Um,
goodness, it is
that's
an
bad.
almost
That's
2K
bad,
gold
yeah.
lead at 1 minute and 53. Oh no, it's so bad. I mean, Yasuo is gonna back. He has the dagger
Yeah,
plus 3
he's
potions,
plus 3.
able to sustain.
Mundo not backing, but
Mundo's
picked
not
up 2 of the
backing, yeah.
kills on
Yeah.
that invade at that point.
I
So
mean,
he's
if
gonna
I'm
be a problem.
Mordekaiser, I am like trying everything I possibly can to kill Mundo before he's able to back and spend that gold, because that's
Right.
gonna be a sad world when he does.
Yeah, so a couple teams picking up on all 4 assists over there. We have Mundo, Yasuo, and Taric. We're able to get into the game at all 4.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That is very
to Start the
unfortunate.
game.
Oh,
That
and
is
4.
not the
Oh,
best case
yeah.
scenario.
It's not at
for you.
all, and it's you know, it's a bit weird because blue team has mostly winning lanes. You know, Victor wins the matchup into Silas early. I think Moore does pretty fine into, or excuse me, Mundo does pretty fine into Mord, but you know, you have the Caitlyn advantage into the Yasuo, and they still opt to invade and look for that level 1 fight. Viego is getting a little bit ambitious here, trying to invade. And
Little Wu King is going on a mission.
What is happening?
My
Wukong walks
boy,
right by him, and
my
he doesn't see it.
boy
And no,
over
Yasuo
here.
kills him bottom.
Yeah.
There's no flash from this Viego. Flash away from Victor into the 1v2. What is happening? Wukong flashing forward, isn't going to be able to find the damage. Silas flashes away. He's completely and somehow, and the absolute robbery of the year,
Wow.
Viego takes blue and walks away.
Yeah, so I wish we had the GIF able to play from the Naked Gun 3 where everybody takes and face palms themselves because I don't
What
understand what happened. I mean, my best guess, this is what I'm going to speculate here. I'm going to speculate here.
No.
He got an email saying you have won a free cruise. And so he hopped over right to that email because who wants to pass up a free cruise?
At this time of year as well.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So started taking a look at that, realized, hey, Viego's kind of taking my jungle at this point. Try to get it over into there and just lost everything.
Oh,
that
my
is
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Some action going in on the bot lane now. Yasuo's dashing forward, looking to pick something up. They aren't able to land a Taric stun. Knockup's going to land on both of them, but you know, not
The
enough
trade-off
damage.
is going to be hard to get back over to the
they're
lane
gonna,
over
a lot
here.
of autos from Caitlyn are going to be eaten by Yasuo, but Yasuo looking to go back into it. Stun's going to land, but good Renata handshake's going to pull Yasuo back. Caitlyn out of mana, down a level is Yasuo, but has the damage. Maybe he's gonna live. The minions are gonna do it.
Yikes!
And they're just overextending. Here comes Wukong. Has no flash, but Renata doesn't either, and she's gonna go down.
Beautiful stun
and
by the
trade.
Taric over there too
Yeah.
as well. But I mean, that just goes to show right then and there that, you know, how hard of a matchup that truly
Yeah,
is.
seriously. I mean, okay, this game is an absolute banger. I'm not sure what's happening, but it's exciting and I like it. So much action happening across the map. Wow. I don't even know what.
Wow,
I don't even know what to say.
Wow,
I don't
sums
even
it
know
up.
what to say. I don't
Yeah.
know what's happening. I don't know what their game plan is, but it's exciting.
The game plan is get more kills than the other team
Seriously.
and win the game.
Yeah, seriously.
Usually that ends up working.
And, you know, you said that Yasuo, it's hard not to have perfect CS. Yasuo has 12 CS at 5 minutes.
You know.
So he's close to perfect CS.
True. I mean, some of those points, you know, you just kind of say, who cares? And just do your own thing like that. I mean, you know, you have a little bit of advantage onto her. Why not go all in? Didn't work out, but it was a beautiful thought.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, hard hat zone on the red team is really living up to their name.
Yeah.
I mean, they've just put their hard hats on and they are running just full steam. Do not care about farm. They don't care about anything. Just looking for all the kills, all of the early game pressure here. The game kind of starting to even out as we look over here. Caitlyn is super strong right now. I mean, up over 20 CS, finishing that noon quiver, boots and a dagger. Victor doing, you know, pretty well into this matchup. Silas has a hard time into Victor in the early game. You know, the range advantage is really big. So Victor able to pick up a little bit of a CS lead, has that kill as well. And then Mundo on the top side really, really strong from that level 1.
It's true. Victor does do some damage over to there. It's kind of how you want to play it. I mean, sometimes you get lucky and you win the matchup based off, you know, the moves that you do over here. That's how it tends to be over for me for the most part. So it can kind of go either way. It's one of those matches where it's a 50-50 at this point.
Yeah.
With the lead that red side had, it gets a little worse.
Yeah,
you kind of
for
play it a little safer. I mean, you can see that he went over for a Doran shield at this point. So he's looking for survivability to kind of play it up a little bit. As Silas, I kind of like to roam. I know it's a little harder in these, you know, communicated matches at all this point, but I think that's truly where he excels, is he has so much mobility and is able to do so much for your team.
Yeah, for sure.
Has
the roam pressure.
Victor, as long as you keep pushing him in like that, it's hard to be able to roam and to be able to move to place.
Yep. No, absolutely. The game definitely showing out here. It looks like blue team hard hat zone is going to pick up the first dragon of the game. excuse me, Cal D1 Poly, getting everything mixed up. They're going to pick up the dragon.
Yeah, regardless of how wrong we get it, we can always switch it later on.
That is true.
That's kind of been the theme here tonight so far.
Exactly. So they're gonna pick up the early dragon, and this game kind of starting to get a little bit closer. It was, you know, they made up some ground from that disastrous level 1.
Yeah.
They're able to somehow get the first dragon, which is pretty impressive. A lot of that being on the back of this Caitlyn, who is super strong, has 2 kills, a huge CS lead, really making up a lot of the gold on the blue team right now.
Yeah, and I think I almost want to call it a mistake, but after the last trade that they did where they lost to the Caitlyn and the Renata
Flash
Glass.
forward though from Tarek. They're looking to maybe pick something here, and Renata's gonna have to flash away.
Don't have the minion wave to do anything with it, but it actually works out in their favor
and it's gonna be a 3v3.
Viego's hovering
Viego's
over
here to counter this. Wukong is gonna get instantly exhausted by Renata. The stun's gonna come over the top from Viego. Wukong all TP down onto bot lane turret. Everyone is showing up to party here. Tarek is gonna come down. Is it time? It's done.
1
It's
HP, baby!
Wukong 1 HP. Flash forward is the victor. All comes down with the E. Not a lot of damage. Kind of a little bit of a wasted flash, and everyone is just gonna walk away or not. Victor has no flash to escape. He's dead, and that's gonna be Silas picking him up. I think Victor getting kind of caught up in the excitement.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any items. He flashes forward and does about 2 damage with his laser.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Just as I was saying, it's almost like a mild mistake not to play as aggressive with the Taric and the Yasuo combo that you have over here, where you do have that leeway to play a little strong.
Yeah.
I mean, you lost the last trade-off to the Caitlyn, who ended up picking up 2 kills over there.
Yeah.
But they finally do it. They play that aggressiveness. They say, hey, listen, you know, I don't think he was level 6 yet at that point when everything was initiated over there. Yeah. So it was a little tough. But next thing you know, all of a sudden there's 5 people on the other side of this thing, and they're able to walk out of it, pick up another kill, and Hard Hat Zone not able to get any kills out of that trade-off. A little whack. Poor Victor is just taking the brunt of it all, which is going to push him a little more behind at this point, but he's also looking like he's doing pretty good. He's able to farm comfortably. So not the best scenario, and another kid was just picking up.
Yeah.
Hard Hat Zone just picked up a kill.
Yeah, Caitlyn died.
She did.
I don't know where she died, but she died.
She died.
There's more action as Red Team is doing the Rift Herald. Viego's going to go down looking to contest, so another kill picked up by Hard Hat Zone, and they just don't give any room to breathe.
No.
Action constantly all over the map. Mordekaiser also expending that TP to go down to bot lane, notably. So Mundo has the TP and flash advantage right now, and Silas looking for maybe a potential kill here in the mid lane.
Backs off.
Victor W is going to stop him in his tracks, though, not letting him go any further.
No, not anymore. I feel like he had the presence of Renata over there to pursue it a little bit higher, but he did not.
Often not.
Just trying to slow down his back over here. But there's a couple champions in this game that it's very unfortunate when they're fed and they can kind of make a huge presence.
And there's just more action in the bot lane. Yasuo's going to look to ult forward. Here he comes. Kiting away is the Caitlyn, though, utilizing that range advantage.
Yeah, nothing too crazy over here. Getting his ult off, but not able to make anything work over here. But Mundo is one of those champions that it's very hard to beat when he's fed. I mean, look at this right here.
And Mundo is in the Mordekaiser all right now. He's going to flash at the last second. Viego's going to ult over the wall. Can he find this? And Mundo indeed goes where he pleases. Right back to his turret. He doesn't
It's a problem. He's not a champion that does the most in the game for damage-wise. But he's one of those champions that, as you just saw, he can kind of tank that 2-to-1 scenario. And as the game moves on, he's going to be able to tank anything possible. Mundo's right up there. Kha'Zix is another one over here who can completely take control of the game.
It has the ultimate, but really good handshake from Renata Glass actually stops Wukong from getting that ultimate onto Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So it really feels like they're forcing so much bot lane pressure here. And I'm not exactly sure why, because I think these ganks are just really obvious. So we'll see the Rift Herald go back, trying to get some of that gold onto the side of the Yasuo, looking to really snowball this advantage. He's still down 20 CS, though. Caitlyn has the 2 kills as well, so.
Yeah, and it's very unfortunate because Hard Hat Zone keeps making these plays over here at this point where it's getting forced over into the tower, so they're not able to make things work when they have the numbers.
Oh no, Silas is tanking the turret. He's going to take a lot of damage from that, but able to run away.
Yeah. And he's great. He's one of those champions that excels over this
He's
low
going
health like
back
that.
in, and he's
that's
gonna
it.
one
It's over.
shot the Victor.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
man.
very unfortunate. You don't understand when it happens to you. You always kind of say what.
Yeah.
But he's one of those champions when he's at half health.
Yeah,
Leave that man alone.
Seriously.
Because he's going to do a
we're
lot
into
of
a dragon
damage to
fight.
you.
They don't stop. The Terrico is just not going to proc in time, so Renata's going to pick up a kill. Over the wall goes Viego, looking to find this Terric. He doesn't have ultimate, but Yasuo there to cover his support, and Dragon goes over to the side.
Yeah, I feel like it's a fever dream
blue
thinking
team.
you're going to be able to kill that Tarek there.
Yeah, seriously.
One of those champions who just has a ton
Flash
of
forward from
armor.
Yasuo is going to land a stun. Cleanse is going to be late, and the ult is going to come over the top, looking for the Caitlyn exhaust coming out from the Renata, but
Good stuff over for Hard Hat,
Yeah.
but not able to
Yeah, just not
execute
enough,
some of the
frankly.
stuff simply because of the fact that it's just so close to tower range, and a
Yeah.
lot of the stuff ends up under the tower, and it's very unfortunate. Oh, Victor flexing a little bit.
just showing I
just
can
taking
tank the
a
turret and I
tower
don't care.
shot
And
for
Mundo
no
is just
reason.
hitting the top lane turret and does not care that Mordekaiser is in his lane.
Yeah.
And another kill on the bot lane. Viego
Over to-
picking
yeah,
up
Yasuo ended up
Yasuo. Here
dying.
comes Wukong looking to trade one back. Flash forward. Alt 1 is going to go down. He's going to pick up Viego with the Q. And now
And
3
that's it.
people are in the bot lane.
Yeah.
But here comes Silas. Silas looking to maybe find something in return. E forward is
Oh,
going to be
missed it.
dodged by the Victor, and in the top lane, Mordekaiser Q flash forward.
There we
Shut
go.
down Mundo. They do not stop. This game is just non-stop action. One side of the map to the other. They do not care.
That's right. Mordekaiser es numero uno. I mean, that man, Mundo says he goes where he pleases. Mordekaiser goes where
Indeed.
he pleases at this point. I mean, what a crazy start. I mean, you have such a huge lead, and he actually just went a health build. He didn't build any sort of magic resist or anything
Yeah.
like that, just simply because it almost doesn't call for it in terms of the team comp.
Wukong is flanking on the bot side. Here comes the Yasuo. Oh, it's going to land onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn has flash, but no cleanse. Flashes away, but it's going to be too little too late. The Renata bailout is going to try to keep her alive for a little bit. Isn't able to find the reset. Viego here to cover the Renata's escape, and that will be all. Wukong. I don't think Wukong has left bot in the last like 5 minutes. And, oh man, it's another 2 people here. Here comes Silas. Silas going in. Has the Wukong also going to take down the Yasuo, but oh my goodness. Victor's going to trade back Viego. The Tarek Sun's going to land onto Yasuo, and that's onto Viego, excuse me. Double kill for the Victor. Renata walking back to her tier 2 turret, and it is just constantly 4 people in the bot lane.
Yeah.
I don't think they've even laned in the last like 5 minutes.
I don't think so either. I mean, this is a lot of action going on, and we kind of love this at the same point. I feel like we should start having a Yasuo ult counter going on over here, because we've seen like what 5 at
5
this point.
ults, I think. He's
at
just
minimum.
ulting on
Yeah, I
cooldown.
mean it's incredible. I wish he could do more with it, because
Yeah.
it is such a cool passive that you get. You start ignoring armor and everything
Yeah.
in here, but not able to do anything with a lot of these ults. And unfortunately, for the other team,
Mundo's gonna
Yasuo
test
is
his luck.
6 deaths away from
His
scaling and
power spike,
automatically winning
Mundo's
this
going
game.
to test his luck onto the Mordekaiser here. It looks like they're in a little bit of a 1v1, but, you know, too much damage coming out of Mord. All right, and here we go. Everything kind of starting to ease out for just a moment as we catch our breath. Caitlyn and Yasuo have swapped over to the mid lane, and Victor and Silas are now side laning, looking to take some of that pressure.
Yeah, and they're doing such a good job. Only 4 kills down for the abysmal start that they had over here. So, I mean, I honestly got to give it over to them at this point to be able to maintain and stay in this game for as long as you did. I mean, Caitlyn started off with 2 kills after being in a deficit over here. And,
and
there's
they're
the
gonna
beautiful
go in.
combo
Here
right
comes
there.
Yasuo flashing forward. Caitlyn still
She
lives
still
somehow.
lives!
The Renata ulti is so huge that Renata lives. No one's gonna die. Here comes the Caitlyn ult. It's gonna get wind walled by Yasuo, and somehow everyone walks away from that. Really, I mean, really good play by Renata. The ult is huge.
Yeah,
Blocks
save some skin
saves
right
Caitlyn,
there.
blocks the last bit of damage.
And like I said, they keep making all these plays when they're under the turret. They're not able to follow through at this point. If they could get it a teeny bit more into the lane, I mean, they'd be walking out with kills every time at this point.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, it is just, not for a moment taking the foot off the gas pedal, just constantly pushing forward. Yasuo, like you said, that's probably 6 ults at this point. Every time it's off cooldown, he looks for Caitlyn and just presses R on her.
He does. He's doing a good job. He's really trying to do what they can, and they're trying to make it work with him too as well. I mean, they have the engages over here. It seems like the communication is pretty good between the whole team of saying, hey, listen, I'm going in. Give me that Yasuo ult. We got her for, a second. Let's try to make it work. But even with the strong start, the damage is in there, and the Rift Herald's going to go over to them at this point.
Yeah.
So they're going to trade Rift Herald for Dragon.
Yeah, Rift Herald for the 3rd Dragon. I'm not sure this is actually worth it for Cal Poly on the blue side here.
Viego takes it too as well. So he can kind of make a move. Hopefully he gets some sort of gank over here. They can wipe somebody out of a lane and drop that Rift Herald to get them this extra gold.
Yeah. I mean, turret plates are already down, unfortunately, though, and they opt to give up that 3rd Dragon, which for me is a little bit weird. Renata ult was on cooldown. Caitlyn had no flash, so honestly, I think that's a dragon fight that I would have liked to see them take.
But do you think they can win it at this point? If you're them right now, is your mindset, hey, we can win a dragon fight, or should we just take this risk?
I mean, yeah, maybe that's true. They're a bit worried about being also on cooldown. They just opt to give it for sure. They don't want the game to snowball anymore. But we'll see what the next move is. Where this Rift Herald opts to be placed. I mean, maybe it's on a side lane to let Silas get some more split pressure, or maybe it's in the mid lane to break this turret and let Caitlyn get some more push in. But as I say that, people starting to grip around mid. Wukong here to hover as Viego makes his way over as well.
Yeah,
Wukong.
Naturally, this is what happens.
Yeah, everyone, gravitating towards
it becomes ARAM 20 minutes in for the most part. I feel like when it doesn't happen, that's when you're like, all right, what's going on?
What's going on? Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. I mean, sticking to the theme of just constant skirmishing, constant fighting, not letting anyone catch their breath.
And you know what I haven't seen enough these times? Where's all these new pings in here? Come on.
That's
true.
Where's
these bait
Where's
pings?
the bait ping?
Yeah, what's going on
true.
right here? Is it just me that hasn't seen it all?
Yeah, here comes Wukong looking to maybe find an angle, but he's caught on that ward that's sitting.
He tried to give it. He gave it a shot. He just blew flash, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah.
Wukong flash. I'm not sure.
Listen. Yeah, so it's one of those things where, the other team can't know what you're doing if you don't know what you're doing. That's a classic motto right there. So always keep them on their toes, and it's incredible.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. I will say, I think, as messy as this game is, I think they're doing a good job of not letting Caitlyn get set up, use that range advantage, use that pushing power. Just constantly making her stay on the back foot, constantly pushing her under her turret, pressuring her, Yasuo ulting her on cooldown, really making her play scared, play safe, never giving her any kind of peace of mind or moment to relax. So kind of neutralizing that Caitlyn pick.
And we're seeing the same build from the Viego from last game too as well, with the rush to the blade, that Rune King, and then go Divine Sunderer for your second item.
Yeah.
So he's also looking to get that one reset. And sometimes that's actually it. That's all it takes.
Yeah, seriously.
Is that one kill where you're able to get into something, make it work with that champion that you take over, and then give your resets back over onto it. So it could be something beautiful. You can never count any of these teams out with a Viego, even though he's 1-4. Right here, still holds a 40 CS lead on top of it at this point. So he's not out of the game. Dropping down the Rift Herald, the bot turret is going to go over for Hard Hat Zone. There's nothing you can do to defend this at this point.
I think this Rift Herald is...
Oh, it's a waste.
It's really bad.
I wonder if we missed it and he ran out of time.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, that could be my only assumption. I mean, for me, you really need to break this mid lane turret to let Caitlyn kind of shove out the mid lane a little bit further. It adds more map pressure. It allows Silas to, have more side lane pressure when you're able to push those mid waves deeper. But Maybe he just ran out of time and thought he could only get bottom.
That's
so.
the only thing that makes sense to me. Realistically, what I would have done is use it in the top lane, try to get Mundo forced out of there at this point, or trap him.
But
in there.
no, Yasuo a little bit caught out. The Terrico is going to come down. Stopwatch from
trouble
Silas,
right
and here comes the turn. Huge Renata. Oh, is going to go over the top, but it's not enough as the Terrico takes all the damage. Flashing forward, Yasuo onto the Caitlyn, flashing away, just looking for her life. Is going to be able to make it out. Renata as well. So only one kill in the end is going to be found by Hard Hat Zone. 2 flashes being expended by Renata and Caitlyn. They're able to escape with their lives as Mundo comes down to push in the mid lane, maybe looking to turn something around. A lot of Victor damage coming over the top onto Caitlyn, though, is going to prevent her from finding any type of return kills. They need to be careful under this turret.
But the problem here is Hard Hat Zone has complete control right now.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't have any answer to what they're doing. If they want to push mid turret, they can push mid turret, but they're going to back off and reset and make their play from here on out.
Yeah, I think they're looking to base for that dragon coming up in 15 seconds. So this is, again, a really tough spot to be in if you are Cal Poly. I mean, both flashes being used right now by Silas and the Renata to escape this, but maybe they're able to find a pick here onto Mundo. He's in the Mordekaiser all. He's about half HP.
He just
actually
keeps
hasn't
surviving.
taken
I
any
think he
damage.
gained HP.
What are these
I think he
champions and
gained
items?
it.
It is a whole 5v5 in the mid lane. A lot of ults on cooldown. Here we go. So much chaos going forward. Tarek being taken solo, he's going to be blown up first. Yasuo diving onto the backline, isn't going to be able to find anything. Double kill for the Mordekaiser as Viego goes down as well. Stopwatch here, and Caitlyn ulting onto the side, still alive. Silas is Stopwatch looking to dive forward. Wukong W is going to survive here as well. Victor looking to maybe one-shot the Caitlyn, isn't able to find the laser now. It's a 2v3 on the side of Cal Poly as they now will look to potentially stop this dragon.
Yeah,
Hard Hat Zone.
a few problems I saw with that fight is Viego kind of got almost caught into the mix right there over here,
seriously.
which hurt them pretty big. And Caitlyn was able to kind of deviate herself
Mundo
over to
needs
the
to be
side
careful.
and was not able to poke or do the damage that she should have done right there. She had almost, I want to say, and want to call it at this point, a free pass.
Yeah.
And didn't
Seriously.
do what she needed to do, which is unfortunate. It's one of those things where you're worried about getting killed, but at this point it doesn't matter. They're already going to take the objective at this point. Your death.
You just need to commit.
You just need to commit. Exactly. I agree completely with that. You had the ability to wipe out maybe 1 or 2 other players on the other team and try to get yourself that extra goal to move on. We've seen this Caitlyn at 2 kills since 7 minutes into the game. I don't know what's happened because able to outplay the Yasuo, able to make things work, and it's almost stagnated at this point.
And it's funny, you almost see the value in this Hard Hat Zone comp. It's a really simple comp to execute, right? Everyone just hits their W key and doesn't stop. I mean, seriously, you have Mundo just clicking on Caitlyn and then taking his hands off the keyboard and mouse for the whole fight. Wukong presses R, E's in. You know, Victor just throws down his ult, and then Yasuo just mashes his R button and tries to kill some person. Where on the other side from Cal Poly, their team fighting is much more nuanced. It's much harder to play around, right? You need to be able to use that range from Caitlyn. You need to be able to find the reset for Viego. It's a lot more technical. And while comps like that can have their value, they're hard to play, right? Especially when you have this really simple to execute Hard Hat Zone comp that is just able to run at you.
Yeah, exactly. Their whole motto is, you want to engage? Okay, we'll engage.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So
exactly.
that's the problem at this point for the most part. And I wish that Caitlyn could do more. I really do.
Seriously.
Because it's such a good pick into the Yasuo at this point, and we saw it in the laming phase with some glimpses of it, and able to take down that deficit and get it back up to 2 kills.
Yeah.
And it was great, but it's almost like they're falling off of this. They're afraid to go with their against.
Yeah.
The initial reaction happened over here, and like, look at this. They're taking a Baron, and there's almost no contestant coming up over here. They're trying to, but they're taking way too long to make it
this
over
Baron
at this
is
point.
taking really low, and they're just going to face check now. They need to be careful. Are they just giving this? It looks like Silas is basing. And the TP from Mundo, excuse me, is coming over.
Yeah, Mordekaiser's going to get left in the dust over here by his own team, and that's never what you want to happen. I mean, they have the Mordekaiser. They have the ability to just eliminate Wukong from this whole potential thing
seriously.
and just swoop right in there and have Viego ult in.
Look for the steal,
and do what he can do, right? Exactly, and to get the steal. But they played it so safe. I mean, they have this gut feeling that, hey, listen, Baron's taking. Mordekaiser, can you go check it out for me? At this point, it's already at 3k HP.
Yeah.
It's not enough. Now you lose Mordekaiser, which is your whole engage, which is your whole tank at this point, and you're just kind of sitting there and getting struck down. I mean, look at how much damage Victor is doing at this point. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's...
Oh, it's a tough place to be. I wonder if they just... No, they're not going to go for the end here. It looks like they're going to back out after
they're playing it safe.
Yeah.
They're playing it safe. They're going to back a couple items. They got a gold spike here over at this point.
And the one kind of passive moment from Hard Hat Zone, they opt to look for the... They opt to back off instead of looking for the end. But here they're on the red buff, maybe overstaying their welcome just a little bit. But Wukong is going to be able to use that blast cone and get over the wall. Isn't able to steal the red on the way out, but does escape with his life right there.
And the crazy part is you'd think there'd be a runaway game with Hard Hat Zone for the ability that they took off in the beginning.
Yeah.
It was 4 kills immediately.
Yeah,
Yasuo, Mundo, everybody had 4 kills. You're 4 assists, 4 KP at this point, and you'd think, okay, that's it, that's game over.
Game's over.
Most people would sit there and say, you know, we messed up.
Yeah.
And they were able to find a way back into the game and kind of alleviate it for the most part. But here's where we're starting to see a deviation from a team that's almost a shell of themselves at this point. I don't know what happened, because the plays that have gone on seemed almost even all game.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they, I almost want to say they psyched themselves out and said, listen, we're behind. We need to start playing it a different way. Which in the case is, no, you got yourself back into the game. You need to start playing more aggressive at this point. You have the lane favors. You have the lane matchups. Do it.
Silas needs to be careful. Mundo is actually taking 0 damage.
Yeah.
And doing half HP to Silas.
I mean, look at how much Mundo has almost, what, 6k HP at this point? This man can go where he pleases.
Yeah, I don't think
he can do whatever he wants.
Seriously, flash forward, Taric, huge 2-man stun onto Silas, and Viego's going to force both their flashes. Renato coming back to look to stall things for a little bit. Caitlin's going to have to E away, and Mundo is tanking the entire team in their base, and he's healing from it. He hasn't even gone to half HP. Finally, they're making some headway on the Mundo. He's going to go down, and look at, maybe they overstepped a little bit. 2 kills now, and they don't even get the inhibitor, so it's shut down for the Mordekaiser. That's huge. This may have been a little bit of an overstep by Hard Hat Zone. You know, 2 kills for nothing going over, and they can still farm all these mid lane.
Yeah, and that's what I've been saying this last 30 seconds over here is they have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
And I hope they finally pick it up and realize that, hey, listen, we got a team comp that can work. We got all this stuff. We can beat them in these engagements like that when they try to push under our tower. But they just simply haven't been doing it until this point right here.
So will Hard Hat Zone give this dragon for free? It would be sole point for either team that's able to secure this dragon. They're looking to go in onto the Wukong over the wall. Nice Silas E, and the root's going to land from the Everfrost. Goes in the clone. Look at it. He steals it. Oh, it's a horror, man. It's an absolute disaster. And his last few moments on the Rift, he steals dragon, and now it's sole point for Hard Hat Zone. They're going to be able to find both kills. They need to really get a lot from these guys. Because
that's 3 Mountain Drakes at this point. And I'm going to tell you right now, that is an incredible steal from Llama over here.
Yeah,
he's 100% isolated in a 1v1 with Silas over this point, who's keeping him out of the pit at this point. You almost think there's no scenario where he gets into her. It actually looked like he was going to die at this point. And is able to get into the pit and steal the dragon to give him 3 Mountain Drakes at this point.
It's 3 Mountain Drakes on a Heart Seal Dr. Mundo.
Yes.
And Yasuo. I mean, how do you actually kill them in team fights? That becomes really, really hard. So such a hero play from Llama right there. I mean, says, you know what? I know I'm gonna die. I don't care. If I'm gonna die, I'm gonna take dragon with me.
Beautiful, and that's something that you have to realize because the smite moved up from 900 to 1200.
Yeah.
And over here, in Llama is one of those people that we're kind of seeing right now that took advantage of that situation. Said, hey, listen, I can make any smite at 900. Give me that.
Give me
Give
the
me that
extra
300
300,
extra.
yeah.
I can make any smite at
1200,
1200.
yeah.
And he goes in there and does it right then and there. And Yasuo, he's at this essentially the holy trinity of items at this
yeah.
point.
I mean, yeah, it's
Um,
so broken.
yeah.
The death stance.
I don't know what you do unless he gets caught out. I don't know how you
they
throw
kill
this
him.
game.
Yeah,
exactly.
Seriously, I don't think Caitlyn does any damage to the. It's 3 Mountain Drake Yasuo with a death
Right.
stance and a shield bow.
Yeah.
Who's gonna kill him? Really, so such a tough spot to be in for Cal Poly. But you know, with that being said, they were able to find a win in the last team fight. Mordekaiser is at a really strong point, and Caitlyn is, you know, sitting at 3.5 items, has the eye edge and the Lord Dominic's completed. So, you know, maybe can find a miracle team fight or something like that as Baron spawning in 5 seconds. This could be the fight that decides the whole game. We look over at flashes on.
I haven't really seen any Gale Force Caitlyn plays.
I
either.
actually haven't seen Gale Force used at all either. To be
I'm
trying to think
I'm
of
trying
when
to
I
think
saw
of
Gale
the
Force
same
used.
time. I mean, there's something that is probably missed at this point.
I imagine it's been like Gale forcing away from Yasuo.
Right. That's my big
Yeah.
guess at this point.
All right, here we go. Looks like they're jostling for
Mordekaiser
position
taking a
in the
ton of
mid
stuff
lane.
and
Here
engaging
comes
it.
huge Renato off the Terrico. Is going to come over the top to stop some of the damage. Looking to
Yasuo
kite out
making
the
his way
Terrico.
over
Yeah,
too as well.
here comes Yasuo. It's such a huge mess. Yasuo right in the middle of everyone, dashing around, finding one. Here comes 2 maybe, but so low goes Victor. Still hasn't died. Caitlyn's gun, and it is a wipe for Hard Hat Zone. Victor is going to fall, but that is all they're able to get as they chase down the final kills. Yasuo
That's
going
it.
crazy.
That's done.
Double kill for Mundo, and Mundo
game.
is just unkillable.
That's
man.
game.
That's gonna be game for a hard
It
hat
looked
zone
good. It
as
looked
they
good.
run it
I
down
mean,
mid.
the engage was a little slow over here. Mundo can take these 2 Nexus turrets no matter what happens at this point. But it looks so good with the initial engage over here. Mordekaiser had the whole team, and it was able to tank the whole team, and it looked like that was going to be the play, but he held off for a little bit.
Yeah.
His team was not able to fall up at the time
At all,
needed,
yeah.
and you waited for the whole rest of the other team to get in
Yeah.
there, and it was a little bit of a struggle for him, and that ends up being the game.
That ends up being, and
yeah,
you kind of
exactly.
see that interaction we were talking about at the beginning. You have the Terrico to block out the Renata ult, right? And
Yeah.
the thing is, they don't have enough burst damage to blow up anyone else before that Terrico ult comes over the top, because it's 3 Mountain Drakes and
Right.
Dr. Mundo and Yasuo. So, I mean, it just ends up being unfortunate. I don't even know if Hard Hat Zone had a game plan other than we're just going to make this
Just
game
give-
as chaotic
just
as
l-
possible and never let
As
them
soon
breathe.
as there was a knock-up, ult,
Oh,
Yasuo,
exactly.
oh, just ult.
Exactly. And
Please,
it
that
works.
was it.
It
Yeah.
works. I think, you know, Cal Poly overstepping level 1.
Yes.
Really flipping the game at that level 1 fight. It goes pretty much as horribly as you could possibly imagine a level 1
Yeah.
going. But Hard Hat Zone, you know, they were confident. They believed in themselves, and they never stopped fighting, and you got to respect that. With that being said, Cal Poly obviously, you know, did a good job, had some really solid moments. Caitlyn played the early game really well,
I think
considering
so
how
too, as
terrible
well.
the level 1 happened.
Mundo did the most damage. I actually thought it would be Mordekaiser. He tends
Yeah,
to.
I thought it
he
was going to
tends
be more
to
too.
do the
I thought it
most
was going to
damage
be
in,
Mord
in
or
games.
maybe Victor. I mean,
Right.
Victor able to do a lot of damage as well. But the Mundo pick turning out to be really solid. I mean, I think Hard Hat Zone just kind of knew what they wanted. And I think there is something about picking comps that are easy to execute, you know?
Right.
You don't have to, like, when you have these comps that are really straightforward, you never kind of get caught in your own head, which I think Cal Poly did. You know,
Right.
every time Hard Hat Zone saw that window, they were right on top of it. And part of that is because of how simple their comp is to execute. Whereas
Right.
Cal Poly has a lot more kind of moving parts to work with.
Oh, I totally agree. It's simple as Yasuo ult.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it really is. I mean, at the end of the day, you can make fun of it that Yasuo's got to hit his 10 death
That
power
power
spike
spike.
and all that stuff, but we saw him that he got those 3 items, and once he gets those 3 items, he's really this just rollable champion
Yeah.
that can kind of take over any single game because
Yeah.
it happens to you in your solo queue games.
Yeah.
I know it does. Don't tell
Yeah.
me it doesn't. And it's just over. Once it hits like the 35-minute mark, that is a champion you don't want to deal
Yeah,
with whatsoever.
seriously.
And
especially when he has Death Stance in 3
Correct.
mountain drags, because he just doesn't
and
take
you have
damage.
such an AD heavy comp at
Yeah,
that
seriously.
point. And that's what it is. I
'Cause
mean,
everything was on Caitlyn Viego to do that damage.
right. And Caitlyn can't do it. I mean, I don't care how good of a kiter you are.
Yeah.
You could be sneaky on Zeri.
Yeah.
You can't kite a Mundo.
Yeah,
you
seriously.
can't kite a Mundo that starts the game off with 2 kills.
2 kills, yeah.
It's not possible.
Yeah, and I think
that's it. That's game over.
that's where I have to give so much credit to Hard Hat Zone. When I said that, I jokingly kind of said it was like they were just being chaotic, didn't have a game plan. But I think in a way that was their game plan, is to not give Caitlyn the room to do what Caitlyn does, which
Right.
is push lanes, get a bunch of gold, snowball the game. You know, Caitlyn
Correct.
was always having to be on her back foot, always looking to kite away, run back under her turret. And, she did a good job of that, but that's not what Caitlyn wants to do, right?
Right.
And when she's not able to get that gold lead, she starts to fall off, and she's just not able to do the damage to those really tanky frontline champions like Wukong, like Mundo,
Yeah,
like Yasuo.
doesn't matter
with teleporting.
how built you are as a
Exactly.
champion. You can't do it.
Exactly.
Lil Nas X said it best when he said, "You're telling me I'm a tank champion and I can solo the 80 carry?" That's just the fact of life. That's just the fact of life. I mean, it really is how it is. So never let those top laners get fed like that.
Yeah,
And I
seriously.
mean never.
Seriously.
Because you're gonna have a bad time.
Seriously. All right, well, we have one more game for you. We're going to take a quick break, about 5 minutes, and we will be back with the final game of the night. So stick around for, what I hope to be action as exciting or more exciting
Yeah.
than that absolute banger right there.
I
But we will be right
promised
back.
in the script it's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, that's what they
Yeah,
told me, too.
That's what they told me.
Yeah.
So we'll get ready for it.
All right.
I guess we gotta try. It's do or die. Now. Can't go back now, we face the end. I'll keep us floating till the end. Now we're stuck in the puddle. We drift away out from the world we know. See the horizon, our ship at bay. We may be crawling, but on our way. We're getting out of this black hole. Remarkable, we never lost our hope. Someone told
Get around despite the loss. I'm over here, gotta get across. Whether you like it or not, there is a moment meant for us. And now you made it, but I already played this. Not interested, open your eyes, let's get it done. Take my hand, just follow me. Shadow and me are one.
Oh my goodness! Welcome back. We have one more
Yes.
game.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it's as exciting as the last game. And I have to say, I mean, this entire time it's been hard to focus on the matches because, I mean, all I can look at is that. Those things are.
I mean, this is a lobster flip-flop right here, which is absolutely incredible. You get actually 2 for 2 feet. So you get a left foot and a right, foot,
right.
which is incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And they say, is that the size of the bottom?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's incrustation language over here. So 46 out of 47.
And I
It
don't
goes
know
by
if you can.
claw
I don't know if you
length.
can see the detailing on it, but it's a lot of fun because on the bottom you can see like their legs.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera can pick it up.
I was told by the guy that we got this from is he used claw lengths to measure these instead of just normal like shoe size. So he was like, it goes based off that, and he uses the chicks lobsters,
Oh,
not
really?
the selects.
Okay.
That's what I told.
And
That's
why
what he
would that
told
be?
me.
Why would that be important? I mean, I
Yeah,
have to admit I don't know much about lobster.
you're missing out, my friend.
Really?
Because there's a lot to know about lobsters.
Seriously.
I mean, they're incredible. I mean, they're great therapists. I
Really?
once had a 74-hour conversation with a lobster. And he just
74.
listened to everything.
74
Listen
hours.
to
that's
everything.
crazy.
Yeah,
And how did you feel after?
I felt great.
Yeah, I can
I
imagine.
felt great.
It's a long conversation.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
Yeah. Well, we will be getting into the draft shortly, or something. I mean, they'll put something on the screen. I'm not sure what. but
Something along
is gonna
those
come up
lines. Yeah,
there.
absolutely, absolutely. I'm gonna tell you right now. You're doing yourself a disservice if you don't have these. I mean, think about it. You're at a party,
Yeah.
high school, college,
High-
work party,
let's say high school
work
reunion.
party,
Say high school
anything,
reunion.
any
And you
high
have
school
to make an
reunion,
impression.
anything like that.
Yeah.
You're doing yourself a disservice not wearing this. I mean, I put these on for about 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It was a conversation piece at this point.
Yeah.
I had people that I didn't even know walking up to me and say, "Oh my God, where'd you get these?" And I said, "Hey, listen, you need to go straight to the SLS. You need to go to lobster.sls, and you need to get yourself a pair of these because it's incredible. You
Yeah.
feel incredible in them.
Yeah.
They're so comfortable.
They
They're
are
so
comfy.
versatile.
And I was surprised
Yeah.
at how comfortable they were.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like Tyreek Hill. I felt
Seriously,
like
yeah.
Tyreek Hill running to catch a 60-yard pass.
Yeah.
It was so
Seriously.
good. So I love it. It's my only shoe that I wear. My work won't let me in with them, but your work may vary.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So do what you got to do. Follow your guidelines over
Yeah,
there at
for
this
sure.
point. But if you're in your own comfort zone, wear them 24/7.
Well, what you can do if you work at a place that has like footwear restrictions or you
Yeah.
have to wear maybe something more dressy, you
Correct.
come in a loafer, you slide it right off, you slide the lobster shoes on.
See, that's debatable for me because I like peacocking. I don't know how many people saw my little shirt, but this is the SLS over here. So I got my little cat sweatshirt over here. He's wearing his bow tie and he's got
Yeah,
his
sit
little
back on the mic.
glasses over here. So it's incredible. I've had a great time wearing this. I like that kind of conversation starting material where it says, "Oh my God, where did you get this?
Yeah,
this
seriously.
is
And,
fantastic."
Well, what I like, which I think is interesting, is the sweater with the shoes. You might not think this is something that goes together. It's a bit, I would say, it's a bit almost bold, brave,
Right.
you could say, because you're wearing lobsters, which is it's sea related. You think summer,
A little bit,
the beach, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
The coast, and then you're wearing this kind of very winter, Christmas themed sweater. And
Right.
it's interesting that you kind of bring those two worlds together in such a new way.
But that's the beauty behind it. You know what I mean? Is there's that abstract feeling that say, "Hey, listen, this cat sweater over here can fit with this lobster
Yeah.
flip flop."
Yeah.
Or and it's just great. It's great to feel noticed sometimes.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
a lot of my life, people don't know who I am.
Yeah.
A lot of the times I kind of spend alone, and it's tough for me.
Yeah.
So I kind of wear these lobster flip-flops so people can be like, "Hey, who are you?
Yeah.
Why are you wearing these?
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, me? You're talking to me?
Yeah.
And it kind
they
of
are talking
blows
to
my
you.
mind a little bit because I'm not used to that. And so it's kind of really made me the person who I am and kind of changed me to a different level over there. And I'm so incredibly grateful for this SLS opportunity because League of Legends, that's my life. You know, there used to be a day where I would wake up, I'd play League.
Yeah.
I'd go to bed, I'd play League.
Yeah.
I'd dream, I'd play League. And so it was just something that came to me naturally. And it was so great when they reached out to me and said, hey, listen, I know you're like bronze 2 and you have a KDA of 0.4.
Right.
But we want you because you know the game. You've seen it all.
Seriously.
You've done it all.
Seriously.
And I said, absolutely. Okay, let me come over here. I'm going to do an interview for you guys.
Yeah.
And I come in over here and I did the interview and I killed it. It was incredible.
It was one of the best I'd ever seen.
Right, and that's what they told me over there. So they hired me and I was like, hey, listen, I got to start to take League serious.
Yeah.
And I went from bronze straight to platinum.
Okay, that's not bad.
And and then I said, listen, this ain't enough. I made another account, got to level 30, straight to platinum. I made another account, straight to platinum. And I said, hey, listen, this is my thing.
Yeah.
Like, this is great over here. So that's my story. That's how I ended up on the SLS.
That was incredible.
And it was great.
That was incredible. I mean, honestly, I didn't realize that it was that big in your life. But
Right.
It's cool to hear. I mean, and I think that's the power of SOS and those
it
lobster
absolutely
flip-flops is
part of it.
Yeah.
Every game I played was in these lobster flip-flops. A different
that's
pair.
pretty.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's crazy because you just got them.
Yeah, it was
tonight.
different. I've had these for years to go on over here.
Different
and,
lobster flip-flops.
And they kind of noticed that the red was starting to fade.
Yeah.
So he got me a different pair.
Well,
but
yeah. And they still look good when they fade. They're high
a
quality.
little bit, yeah. It's a weird color, almost like a grayish, but I still like it.
They still like it.
Yeah.
They get comfortable. Okay, so we have one more game. As much fun as the lobster flip-flops are to talk about.
Right.
We have one more game. What are you hoping to see from this last game? It's between Insomnia All-Stars and Lotus Ink Bullets on the red and blue teams, respectively. We're going to get right in the draft. I mean, I hope it's as exciting as last game. I think that was absolutely crazy. It was fun to watch.
I do hope so. At this point, I could say last game was an anomaly.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Because of how much fighting there was, and we're not used to that at this point.
Yeah.
But I would love to keep that thing going. I mean, it's incredible at this point.
Yeah.
So let's hope.
They may have set the bar too high.
The God Year and the Aatrox ban
right out
immediately.
right off the bat. Taken right out. So I mean, Aatrox is actually. I don't think we have seen an Aatrox ban in either of the previous two games. Excuse me, which I'm a bit surprised about because he isn't a really strong champion.
With God
With Udyr, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. And he's one of those champions. I mean, you can build him
a lot of
legit any way you want.
Seriously.
I mean, I used to hear a phrase back in the day that was like, hey, listen, don't ask what your Udyr is building because whatever he's building, it's okay. And that's actually the case. I mean, I've seen Udyr's build Prowler's Claw.
Yeah.
In one
and
shot of
one
AD
shot,
carry.
it's disgusting.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So it doesn't matter what you do.
Yeah.
That's what it is. But then the Seraphine and Zoe ban come out. So I'm a little confused as to what's going on at this point. Yeah.
I would have to agree. The Seraphine ban is really weird to me because I don't think it's that strong of a champion. My only thought when I see, and we haven't watched these teams play yet, so my only thought when I see bans like this is that they're targeted bans.
Right.
Maybe it's, there's a really good Zoe player on Lotus Ink Bullets, maybe Insomnia All-Stars has, or excuse me, other way around. Maybe Insomnia All-Stars is a great Zoe player and Lotus Ink Bullets has a really good Seraphine.
Is that an Ivern ban?
Ivern.
I don't think I've ever had
I
to
don't
say
think
those words in my life.
Me neither. I don't think I've ever seen that
I have no
champion
idea
banned.
what that's about.
And Zach, first pick.
Yeah, I can't tell you why there's an Ivern ban.
Again,
I can't.
There has to
I'm
be
sorry,
like
I
there
can't.
has to be like an
Yeah.
Ivern one trick.
But even still,
Yeah.
even still, if it's an Ivern one trick and you have like some 56% win ratio,
It's like it's Ivern.
60%,
Yeah.
it's Ivern.
Yeah,
I mean, just
seriously.
counter jungle the
Just-
guy.
yeah, exactly.
He's in trouble. You know what I mean? There's nothing he can do at that point. He can't solo you. He
Yeah.
can't do anything like that. Especially if you're gonna go with
If
the
you're gonna
Graves
pick
picks.
Graves.
I truly don't get where the Ivern ban
Yeah.
comes from. I don't. I'm sorry.
It is definitely a bit odd. I mean, they pick up the Zach first pick. Zach first pick, I think is interesting. Is a flex pick, honestly. Can go jungle
Yeah.
or top. Both in a pretty solid state right now. And they're going to respond with Graves. Graves, I mean, another champion that was banned last game, but I think is in a pretty solid spot right now as a jungler. Has a lot of good item builds right now as well.
Yeah.
And then they're going to pick up the Zeri. So excited to see the Zeri again, to be honest. I think
Absolutely. Zeri's incredible champion. Graves is also an incredible champion. I mean, he does so much damage, especially if he's one of those people that are able to get like 2-3 kills
Yeah.
ahead of the game. It's noticeable.
Yeah.
I mean, all of a sudden you start to just fall behind no matter what the champion pool is that you have. It doesn't matter. He builds lethality if you want to. He builds crit damage if he needs to. And it's over.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
seriously.
it's over for you. But the Caitlyn, a good pickup, especially with the Zeri. So to me, it's looking like a farm match down
Yeah,
the bot
yeah.
lane, unless the jungle intervention has
Yeah.
something to do with it.
So, I mean, I do actually like the Caitlyn response because, you know, they pick Graves. They show that Graves' early game gank pressure isn't that good. You know, he doesn't have a lot of CC.
Right.
He's kind of a more farm invade oriented jungler. So they're going to go right for that Caitlyn Morgana lane and just say, we're going to shove you under your turret the entire game, and your jungler isn't going to really be able to do anything about it.
Right.
So I like that as an answer to the Zeri. But again, champions like this, there's a lot of pressure to execute, right? You need to snowball the game early. You need to get that big lead, which, again, we saw in the first game is definitely possible, but it puts that pressure on the side of Insomnia All-Stars to really get that early game snowball.
Yeah, it was just totally true. And funny enough, I've seen, and I was just about to say this, Karma and
Yeah.
Morgana kind of switch up their builds and kind of go towards the tanky route because they're both champions that can engage and
Yeah.
make these movements over
Yeah.
there, and they become so tanky that they
Yeah.
can't die. So they're able to get, I mean, Karma can ult whenever
Sure.
at this point, but they're able to engage so hard that it doesn't matter for the other team. So maybe we'll see something like that. We might also see traditional Morgana where she kind of builds this Zonias as the first item at this point and just kind of goes this flash, engage, gets his movement speed, Zonias, or stopwatch at this point, and then redo it the next team fight
Yeah.
to kind of get your team that leeway it needs to start breaking apart from the other team. Very good pick with Morgana. I mean, there's the classic meme that goes on is you're hit with Morgana bind and you get an AFK warning. I mean, you sit there for 3 seconds, you can't do anything.
You can't do anything.
For 3 whole
Yeah.
seconds. So it's kind of rough over there. Karma, I think, a very good champion
Yeah.
to kind of balance that out because you have a survivability for yourself and or your
Good
AD
there,
carry at that point with the shield especially. So you can go the offensive too.
And-
She
yeah,
does a
for
lot
sure.
of damage.
And
at
Karma's,
this
I
point.
mean, Karma is honestly a really good champion into Morgana. You know, the poke against Morgana is really good. The movement shield from the the movement speed from the shield. That was hard to say.
Yeah.
Really counters the
Say that
Morgana.
5 times fast.
Really counters the Morgana Q. You know, it's hard to land the Morgana Q when someone's running like 3 million miles an hour. So that's good. And also what you can do, I mean, the poke damage is strong. You can also blow up the Morgana spell shield and land that root. So Morgana, or Karma, a really good answer into this matchup here.
But to me, Zeri Karma isn't anything like that that's super fast. They can kind of avoid that Morgana shield. Or that Morgana stun at
Yeah.
that point. You're kind of stuck. If she hits you, you're in
kinda
trouble.
dead, yeah.
You're in trouble. I mean, there's certain champions like Lucian and stuff like that where you can kind of dash it and you can start to go in the offensive immediately.
Yeah.
Because you know that cooldown's blown. for the most part. But the Azir, I actually like. He's such a strong champion, especially in this World Series.
Yeah.
Especially right now. He's one of those players where you can take advantage of the lane that you're in, and you can start making map movements, and especially team fights over here where you're able to completely negate a whole team, especially a Zac jump.
Yeah.
So you can ult him straight out of his E.
jump. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you can. It's over. There's no engage from that champion, even with a Camille at this point. So I kind of like it, but at the same time, Camille and Zac end up being so tanky that it doesn't matter. They can re-engage with the tools that they have. And I don't see a bruiser yet
for the side. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
So the last pick is going to be Poppy. I think there's an issue with the draft on the side of Lotus Bullets.
So that Poppy's
Poppy's
a good pick.
The Poppy pick becomes really big. So a lot of interesting counterplay, I think, from both teams. So like you said, you have the Azir, but then you also have Morgana Spell Shield. So you know Morgana Spell Shield is Camille. Camille can get interrupted by the Azir, which is interesting.
Correct.
But then you have Graves W that you can actually put down on Camille to block the Camille Q from one-shotting the Zeri.
Right.
Then you have the Poppy W obviously that can interrupt Zac and Camille. So you have a lot of kind of outplay potential on both teams. And anytime that happens, it's really interesting to see who's kind of able to utilize that better and find their advantage. So I think this will be an interesting game.
I think so. I think based off the picks that we see so far, I don't see it leaning any way over the other way.
Yeah,
to
I
me,
kind of agree.
It's a very neutral draft.
Yeah.
So it's going to be, in my book, the amount of jungle pressure that shows up in these lanes and kind of, hey, let's do this, let's do that, let's get both Scuttle Crabs, let's take a Rift Hero, let's take a Dragon. To me, that's how it seems.
Yeah.
Because I think these teams are very neutral. They kind of picked each other every pick.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of waiting to see the output at this point.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I think what will be interesting to watch is I think there's a lot of pressure on this Zac to snowball the early game and make sure that Caitlyn is able to get that push, get that CS lead. But already from the get-go, there's a lot of damage going down. Caitlyn taking quite a chunk from Karma and powered Q there. So not exactly going the way they'd hoped maybe, but a bind's going to land onto Zeri and then a Q follow-up from the Caitlyn, but Karma able to trade back completely. And now here we are,
Graves over here.
He's going to smite it away.
Zac can't contest this over here.
Zac is forced to flash, but Graves is going to flash right after. Passive is going to be popped. Can he actually find the damage here? Q's auto's going to come down onto the blob, but one auto left to reload, and
first blood dropped.
Huge play.
2 minutes and 19 seconds into the game right over there.
Man.
Good job by Graves to recognize, hey, let me do a red start. Let me hop right over to blue
wall
at this point, because I have a feeling that he's going to do that. And is able to do it. Zac doesn't have a lot of early game pressure, and he has nothing but his pass over here. His whole team doesn't rotate. Even still, Graves is going to take his whole jungle on the top side.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think, this has been something that's happened in the first game is you see that these jungle invades on the top side have been so incredibly huge. Really smart play right there from the Graves, realizing you can just jump over the wall and kind of threaten the fact that Zac early game is not the strongest. Graves, though, wasting a little bit of time up just sitting on this ward. I think this gank is, he's trying to punish the flash as Camille. Camille opted into the ignite instead of the flash. But for me, it's a little bit of a waste of time. Had a really big advantage over that Zac, and I would have liked to see him just keep farming up. And
I'm going to tell you right now, there's going to be some definite issues going into this game because Poppy is Camille by their username, and Poppy is also in the game. So, there's going to be some problems coming down the lines. But you got to use your own imagination and kind of figure out what's going on.
Contextually, what we're saying.
Yeah, we'll try to put more emphasis on Poppy, but as I'm saying that, it feels more like Poppy, which is Camille.
Yeah.
So I don't know
what
goes on
to
at this
set
point.
the precedent, to keep it simple, I'm just going to refer to champion names and not player names.
Yeah, that
so
probably sounds the
anytime I
best.
say Poppy, I'm referring to the
Poppy.
champion Poppy,
Correct.
rather than the top laner on the side of Insomnia All
Probably
Stars.
the best. Probably for the best.
Indeed.
Over
All right.
here, Black Pearl sitting here waiting here. Jack Sparrow not making any moves. I'm going to be able to cleanly recall, it looks like at this point. No, he's going to stay
Oh,
over
here we
here.
go. There's
for
a
the situation.
fight.
We have
Zach is going to
3v3.
miss. 3v3 coming down early. A lot of damage coming out from both sides. Flash away from Zeri. Zach, is so low, has no passive or flash, and he's going to go down. They're looking to maybe trade one back. Caitlyn Morgana going aggressive. They need to be a little bit careful of the turn now. Caitlyn walking forward. Karma Q is going to do a whole lot of damage as Graves is looking to walk around.
Yeah,
Zeri's
he's
going to
moving
E over
around
the
the
wall.
back at
He's
this
wrapping
point. He's gonna
around.
clean
They need to be
engage.
careful and turn back onto the Graves, flashing away as Morgana. So low is the Caitlyn, 1 HP, and the Triumph healing is going to come. The shield from the Karma is going to be everyone going down. Double kill Triumph. Graves is going to live, and it's just a horror for the side of Insomnia All-Stars. Everything going the way of Lotus Ink Bullets as they wipe 3 for 0.
Yeah, that's
the bot
one
side.
of those moments where you type in all chat, I messed up my runes.
Let's remake this one.
Yeah, that's kind of it because it was so close
Yeah.
that you could have had an opportunity to make that work for yourself. I mean, a great play by Graves to
Yeah, he
move
just
back
walks
around
around.
to the tri-bush and get back over to the bot side to make it work. I mean, they put it over to the aggressive series over there, and it seemed like it was starting to make things happen, but just didn't expect for the Graves to do a repeat gank immediately after, and that's where they ran into some trouble right there. But that's the way of life.
Yeah.
That's the way of life, and you start off with a 4-0 start.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And I mean, this Graves is turbo strong right now, sitting
Yeah,
at
not
202.
good.
Yeah.
Not good. He's about to get his little pet friend pretty soon.
Yeah. A whole
and-
level up. Zach looking on this mid lane, trying to find something in return. You know, Azir has flash and ulti, and Zach is sitting
Black
on a
Pearl
ward
and
with no
another
flash.
bad
He needs to be careful.
He
Will
gets out
Azir
of
look
that,
to go
yeah.
in? Yeah, he's not gonna.
I
Holding
would love
everything.
to know Black Pearl. I'm assuming it's from Disney's Captain Jack Sparrow. I'm assuming that's where he got his name from.
Yeah.
If,
so is he
if
a
it's
big
not, I
Pirates
would
of the
love
Caribbean?
for him to correct me
Yeah.
at this point, but I'm gonna full roll with it.
Yeah, I mean that's
until
fair.
then.
I
Yeah.
think that's a safe assumption. Looking at that name, so this is a really rough spot, and it looks like Zach is feeling a little bit of desperation. Azir is gonna force the flash out of Vex. All's gonna come down, and everything's gonna land. He's gonna
No
flash
way.
it. Oh my goodness, Azir.
no. Yo, here's what I'm gonna do you a favor right now. Press Alt F4. That's it. I mean, that's unfortunate.
That is
That's
such-
2 times this
Oh
game
my
already
goodness. Yeah.
that this happened.
You
so
just have to be so tilted.
listen, if I've had games like that, you just type in all chat and be like, listen,
just say
man,
open mid,
normally
we're good,
I
yeah.
have like 6 kills at this point.
Yeah.
This sucks.
Yeah.
In the situation that it's going. But Graves taking advantage of the situation. He knows that Zach just ganked mid and had to gank it.
Yeah,
And,
so he's just counter jungling. And Graves has not bought yet. He has stayed on the map this entire time.
Doing an incredible job over here. Doing what Graves does best and counter jungling at this point.
He is just taking every single camp.
Knows
from
when the
Zach.
respawns is, immediately hits Gromp
Yeah.
like the second that,
That
it
is spawned.
responded.
And
yeah.
Zach trying to find something on the bot side, not able to get anything. It's very unfortunate. Zach, knows Zeri has no flash, so just trying to salvage whatever he can from this game. A CS lead for Caitlyn is good, but here
Yeah,
we
and
go.
that's
Zeri needs to be careful. Here comes the
And
E. Oh
missed
no, he's
it.
in-
He
yeah, he wouldn't
missed
have
it.
hit it, yeah.
Missed it.
Yeah.
At that point.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a champion that is able to get back into the game just based off how he is. He
Yeah.
can kind of essentially gank from anywhere.
Yeah,
this is
seriously.
Zach we're talking about.
Oh, and
Graves
Camille needs to be
making a
careful
move
now.
over
The
here.
top
Camille
side,
knows
he's going to
he's
try to
coming
use
in.
the hook shot, but
Poppy,
it doesn't
yup.
matter. Poppy just counters him. Ult from Camille, doesn't matter. Camille's dead, has no flash.
That's rough. I'd hate to be in a game where Graves has 3 kills
Yeah.
this early into
This
it.
game is just...
You're
it's-
looking at 9 minutes in, and Graves has, once again, 3 kills. He's
yeah.
about to pick up another Scuttle Crab, which is going to give him almost about a 20 CS lead
Yeah.
over Zach at this point. It's not fun.
It's not looking good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is that Graves hasn't done his red buff yet at all.
Yeah, true.
He hasn't
That
done
is
like
true.
almost any of his topside camps because he's just been doing Zach's topside
Right.
camp. So a very sad place to be, but no flash on the Azir and a good ulti from Vex. Nice backstep on the Azir ult, but still lives on like 1 HP.
Yeah. Great play by the Azir. He pushed it over to the turret, so she did follow through
Yeah.
the ult. She'd end up over there, and he
Yeah.
can definitely combo her to make things happen for him in his way. I
Oh,
mean, we gotta
Zeri
keep
maybe
in mind,
oversteps, so
Azir's
here
3-0 at this.
The pull from Zach to ult, and here comes the...
Oh,
my goodness. I
lives,
mean,
survives. I'm telling you, Alt F4, Alt F4. This is a rough game where everybody lives at 1 HP. 1 HP.
mean-
This is disgusting at this point. Disgusting.
I mean,
I
yeah.
can't stand those games where you can say like, you can actually type in your chat and say like, listen, man, normally I have 3 kills
Yeah,
by now.
seriously.
Look at the
Yeah.
HP that they're at.
Caitlyn
Yeah.
could have 3 kills by now, and
And they're
now
gonna go down to Graves.
and
at
now
this
Morgana
point,
is just
yeah.
gonna die to the Graves. Caitlyn looking to get away. He's gonna net away. Graves dashing
Not a good
forward. Heal
net.
coming down. Here comes a flash
Gets out of
to
it,
get
yeah.
out, but he's gonna live. Has to use both summoners though. And
Yeah, the survivability because of the wave showed up. Graves not able to make
Yeah,
those
get
auto
those
attacks.
damage.
Just sit right
Yeah.
in there, and he can't hurt
He
you.
can't do any
at
damage,
that
yeah.
point. And I always love seeing that where it's like a free kill.
yeah, and then Graves. is
And
getting
then
blocked.
Graves just can't.
Oh my
auto
goodness! No,
attack
Camille
you.
needs to
Yeah.
be careful here. Okay. Yeah, but seriously, it's so frustrating
Yeah.
when you're playing Graves and all of your damage is getting blocked by minions.
Yeah, I'm surprised Karma didn't try to take some
it,
of these
yeah.
Raptors
Yeah.
over from Zach. I mean, you can't do too
He can't
much
do
over
anything,
to her.
seriously.
I think the ward is in the right spot, but I think you need to apply the pressure
Yeah,
onto
honestly.
it, on top of it, to really kind of set him back a little
Yeah.
bit. I mean, he's down, 22, 26 CS
Yeah.
at this point. Keep pushing it.
Yeah, this
you,
might be
you
a
have a
little bit
bot lane
scary.
domination.
A little bit scary for the Poppy, to be honest. I mean, Camille sitting on that Sheen, a decent power spike, has the Ignite and Ultimate available, so getting a little bit close to a potential kill threshold. Graves recognizing this, hovering around the top side map. We might see a bit of a skirmish up top side as Zach, Graves, and now Vex looking to collapse. Here we come. Blue buff is the target, looking to be a little bit of a fight. Here comes the nice pull from Zach into the Vex Sphere, and everyone collapsing.
in
Graves is gonna
trouble,
flash out.
yeah.
No way he lives that one. Vex all falling him through shutdown.
a rough flash right there. I mean,
Yeah.
you're kind of done with it. You take that 1% chance that you're going to live the scenario. Just doesn't happen, and you go down over there. You lose your
So,
flash. You
I
lose
have
your
to
ability
be
over
honest.
here.
I think Black Cleaver
Cleaver's
Rush is
a-
really weird.
I don't like it.
That is
I'm gonna be honest with
bad.
you. I don't like it. I actually like the crit damage over here, so I like you build the 60%.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, the 40%, and you going straight to an IE.
Yeah, I
over
mean,
here.
honestly, I could see that, or even going the Hydra build to make your
Yeah.
jungle clear faster. I
I don't even think you need it, to be honest with you.
yeah. Oh, and Camille's just
And,
dead.
yeah.
I mean, yeah. You see the Poppy counter. And,
Yeah, exactly.
full action
It's
right
hard
there,
to do
yeah.
anything. As soon as she started make a move with her ropes,
Mm-hmm.
you just turn on your ability to stop those ropes.
Yeah,
over here.
it's
but,
unplayable,
But
to be
Graves,
honest.
I do like it. He has 2 builds from what I'm aware
Oh,
of.
and Azir is
Azir,
gonna
I
get
think
pulled
he's
back in. Force the
gonna-
flash. Zach,
good
yeah,
flash
good
right
flash.
here
Seriously,
to
good
get over
escape.
here.
And now it's Karma looking
She's
to
gonna go
or
down.
Graves,
I don't
excuse me.
understand how she
Graves
gets out
is
of
just
here.
dead.
Yeah, Graves is gone.
Yeah, Graves, had that huge early lead and needs to be careful now because he's starting to kind of in
Black
some kills back. But
Pearl
Black Pearl
in
has
trouble.
said anything you can
He
do,
wanted
I
to go
can do
for the
better.
counter
And, yeah.
jungle. He goes, hey, listen.
But the passive is not going to be enough.
He
Okay.
goes, hey, listen, we got 1 kill.
Let's
I'm
take it
gonna go
all.
straight for the counter
Yeah.
jungle at this point. And they go, I don't know if you know this or not,
But
but
we-
we can see
Yeah.
you. We know what's going on.
We know exactly
And they
where you are.
immediately kill him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so a little bit over ambitious by both junglers there. Graves, feeling himself with that cleaver completed, looking for some kills, it just gets picked out, and then Zach kind of throwing a bone back.
Yeah, and I'm
to
gonna
the
tell you
side
right
of
now,
Lotus.
to me, it doesn't seem like a 2-to-8 kill ratio. It seems
Yeah,
pretty
it seems,
even.
yeah, it actually seems a lot closer right
it
now.
it does seem pretty even.
And
to
I
me.
mean, the crazy thing is that, you know, everyone on the side of Lotus has lived with like 1 HP in all
right,
these skirmishes.
which sucks. I mean, I hate that. Trust me,
Yeah,
I
seriously.
hate that. But
A lot of
unfortunately, it's
damage
part
from
of the
Azir
game
going
over
on to
here.
Morgana.
Morgana not able to do too much, not even get able wards down
Yeah,
to
seriously.
make sure what's going on with Dragon at this point.
And Vex looking over in the wall with
Just
ultimate
going
ready.
for it.
Yeah.
Just straight going for it.
They're just gonna start. Maybe a little bit disrespectful from Graves. Vex
I
able
don't know
to
where
ult in. Karma
Ziri's
getting
trapped in the bot lane, not able
blasted
to make a
by
rotation
Vex.
over
There's
here.
one
Yeah.
shutdown for Vex. The ult reset's gonna come through. Here goes Vex on the Graves. Caitlyn is actually gonna find that kill, and he has another ult charge. So not able to land it onto the Azir. Azir now 2v4 with the Caitlyn, or Zeri, excuse me. What can they actually do here? Azir has ultimate, no flash. Zeri's gonna
Can't take
dash
the
over the
dragon.
wall.
Can't take a
Yeah.
dragon. That was a bad engage. I mean, your bot lane's tied up with the
Yeah.
other AD carry at this point, and they started to make a way over onto it, and you just keep going with it.
Yeah.
I get that you're ahead. I get you have a couple more kills above the enemy jungler over here, but you gotta start to realize
Yeah.
that mid lane's collapsing, bot lane's collapsing, jungle's collapsing,
Yeah.
and you don't take that in for account. And that kind of sucks, but they're going for a repeat over
Yeah, they're
here
just
at
gonna
this
do
point.
Dragon
Yeah.
again. They know that Vex has no ulti and everyone is really low. So a little bit of a mistake from Insomnia All-Stars starting that Dragon and taking so much damage from Azir, and now it gives the Dragon back free, but no, okay. So Zach going in to try to steal, but Azir is actually
Taking
somehow
the
able to
dragon.
secure it.
Well,
So
how many times are you gonna say Azir is taking the dragon at this point?
Oh,
You know what I mean?
no.
It's just one of those
Oh,
things that
no.
just happen.
Yeah.
That's it.
oh, no.
But you're right. I mean, Graves taking a unique situation to this build. Camille going
Oh,
over here.
Camille
Poppy not
looking
able
for
to
a
send her all the way
kill.
back. This is going
Ignite's
to be a
gonna
50-50
come
split.
down, and
Camille waiting for the true damage
Yeah.
to proc and able to just
One shot,
eliminate
yeah.
Poppy
absolutely
at this point.
demolishing Poppy with that Q2 plus Sheen, and Azir's gonna ult Vex back towards the wrong way, but Karma just gonna
That's
land
it.
shut down
Done.
for Azir. So huge play right there. Azir is so turbo strong right now. You know, 2-0, 143 CS. Already has a completed item. Doing so incredibly well right now. Alright, and the game starts to take a little bit of a lull as Zach taking the blue buff. Karma and Caitlyn looking like they're potentially swapping over to the mid lane.
Yeah, you know, pretty common to see, you know, hitting that stage of the game. Caitlyn, all she wants to do is take the towers, you know,
Yeah.
keep her in mid. She's safest there. Bot lane tower's already gone.
Exactly. Trying to rotate around and just get that early gold. Here we go. Azir looking for something, and Morgana's
Big
kind of
damage.
abandoned the AD carry. A lot of chunk coming out. Caitlyn looking to turn some of that back. They need to be careful. Karma here to cover as well. And Azir in a really strong spot can seriously burst out this Caitlyn. So playing with fire a little bit right now in the mid lane. But and now Azir's just going to run top, and I'm not exactly sure what is happening. A lot of kind of odd rotations. It looks like
Yeah,
Poppy is just
lot
running
of
all the
wasted
way-
effort.
yeah.
Nothing really going on.
Poppy just running all the way down to bottom.
Yeah, but nothing really to play for right now. And as
Yeah.
I say that, here we go, going in.
Random fight in the dragon. Zeri's gonna pop out and look to maybe find a kill
Oh,
here.
and the
camera's
cameraman
drifting off
is-
into Africa, but here comes Poppy over the wall. Caitlyn by herself. Everyone's
think they're
leaving
gonna
her.
reach.
Zach is gonna follow, but Zach now taking solo. Morgana Bind goes blind. Here comes the Caitlyn over the top. Zach still living in the passive.
Caitlyn's still
doing
doing the
so
damage.
much damage over the top. TP onto the Zach blob to keep him alive, and then TP from Azir to match,
Although
and it's
Graves-
so close. Here comes
Graves off the
Camille. Camille going in with the Morgana bind or shield on
Graves
him,
dies
is
off
not
screen.
able to find anything, and Graves going down to Vex now. Everyone's so low. It's ultimately going to be a 1-for-0 for the side of Insomnia All-Stars. Karma's here looking to see what she can do. In goes
going back
Camille.
in.
And then now Zach is going to get blocked, and Bobby
disjointed.
into the wall, doesn't have passive. He's going to go down. Killing spree for Azir. And that was a very messy fight. Ultimately just becoming a 1-for-1. So kind of crazy right there. Kind of random, but in the end just proves to go even. Some trade of Summoner Spells. TP is being used by the Camille and the Azir.
At the end of the day, pretty even resources expended, and here we are coming into the Rift Herald here. A little late though. I don't know if they're gonna get this in time.
Yeah, they have about how much? Around like 10 seconds. Yeah, they'll actually be able to pick it up just barely in time. Graves is gonna dash out of the walls. Now everyone converging into the river. Camille looking for a pick maybe. Isn't able to find a knock on Azir, but a really nice ult traps him from the dash. In goes Vex with the ult following Azir. Azir's gonna go down. Zeri now by herself, left to kite, is dodging
gotta
everything,
get out of there.
dodging the Morgana binding, dodging Vex. All Gale Force forward from Caitlyn, cancels an auto, and that Zeri living just barely. Oh my goodness. Absolutely crazy play. Dodges three abilities
right there.
huge.
All-Stars finding the play in the mid lane and looking to see if they can put that pressure into the Dragon Pit here. Trying to get their vision down, trying to prep up for that, but is Zeri overextending a little bit? Nope, he's going to push the wave out.
Can I get a hiya?
Hiya!
All right, and now that we have just experienced that, we have Dragon coming up in 5 seconds. And this is all the stuff you can expect when it gets to game 3. Dragon on the map now. And
I'm gonna be honest with you, this is stuff I expect in game 2.
yeah, seriously. Here we go. So a kill found onto the side of Poppy. In goes Zach looking for something. Graves is able to dash away. Camille going over the wall. Everyone looking to chase down Graves. He's running for his life. Ulting so much chunk damage actually coming through. Vexel's going to find his mark though. Huge burst going over the top of Graves. Yeah, nowhere to run.
Wiped out.
Vex has the reset on the ultimate looking for it. Camille E is going to go wide. Vex, I think, still has all 2. Here it is, but yeah,
it's used as a navigation over here. Black Pearl actually doing so much for the team at this point.
Yeah,
with his engagement over here. He knows the TP is coming through over here, but goes for the Dragon. The Dragon's going to be a reset over here. Azir comes in at this point.
Looking maybe
He
able
has
to
an
find an
ability
angle.
to
Here
wait.
comes Azir. He's going to get instantly feared though by
Gone!
Vex. And he's gone. What a play. Vex finding one. Now Poppy looking to channel all. Nice Camille all over the top to dodge a double kill for Camille. Zeri flashing away, but E is going to find his mark from Camille. Zeri kiting down. Triple kill for Camille. Everything going to the side of Insomnia right there.
Not
Huge
the way
play.
we have seen every game go so far.
No.
I mean, there's been a clear leader in all these games at this point, but they're able to come back and able to make these plays just based on the team content they have. I mean, you have Zach that's able to engage at these points and make things happen like we just saw right here.
Yeah.
He was able to engage one point. The whole team reset. He was able to split off a comp, and Camille's able to go over here and isolate people even for the most part. And that's looking at it.
Oh, but look at another TP
trouble
coming
right
in.
here.
Yeah, another TP. Azir wants to find something on the backside of this Dragons. Everything kind of being disastrous. Flashes over the wall to find Morgana.
Azir picks up a beautiful kill for
Is going to
himself.
be able to find one kill. I mean, it's a good kill, but Azir, pivotally having to use both Flash and TP just to kill the support there, and they're not able to get much after, or are they going to go onto the Baron? Ping's coming down, and Zach is on this Raptor camp, so they need to be careful. They're starting a Baron here. This is kind of huge. A lot of damage is going to come through. With the Zeri and the Graves, it's going down pretty fast, and I'm not sure if Insomnia All-Stars even realizes what's happening right now. There's no Azir TP. Poppy now walking over to tank for the team. Zach's coming over to check. It's going so low. It's at under 1,000.
Yeah, it's going wild. It goes over straight to the red team. Poppy able to pick that Baron up over here. You wouldn't suspect that at that
get
point.
It for free.
Yes.
It's a little bit of a heist.
Yeah, it is. It is a little bit of a heist at that point. Congratulations over to Poppy to secure that Baron
Just
over
an
here.
absolute robbery.
And that's the problem over here with the team is that they have so much I almost want to say security at this point with the Zero, with the Poppy W, with the Poppy ult, that you can able to force these people out of here at this point, and you can say, hey, listen, I know you want to contest this objective, but this is mine.
This is mine.
You have no shot of getting into here.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, and here we go. Baron now for the side of Lotus Ink Bullets. What can they get? How much gold can they get? What kind of lead are they going to be able to leverage with this Baron power play? Zeri looking to push out the mid lane as Azir 1v2s in the top, and now they're looking for some kind of pick onto the Azir. Zach looking to land that pull. It's not going to be enough though, as Azir is doing a lot of return damage on the Zach. They need to be careful. Zeri Karma now collapsing up. Zach looking to charge in, but maybe this is not where he wants to go, as the bot lane from the side of Lotus Ink Bullets looking to come up here to cover Azir. But
yeah, you got to keep in mind this
Zeri's
is 26
fast.
minutes into the game. This is when Azir starts to excel at this point.
Yeah,
he has an ult that can block people. He has a lot of damage at this point. I mean, we're looking at Azir that has three items completed.
Yeah.
I mean, he can start to do some damage over here. He can start to go by himself and almost fake it at this point.
Yeah, seriously.
That, hey, listen, I got a lot of people. You see
Here
a
comes the
Lobster
Vex all over the
SLS
top.
flash on there.
Yeah.
You got to get your flip-flops now.
Okay, and that's going to be one kill for Vex. Graves dashes out with the E, dodging the Vex ult too. But on the other side of the map, Karma and Azir trying to use this Baron to do a lot.
Yeah, and the camera guy doing the best that he can, avoiding this Lobster SLS flashes on the screen. I mean, if you're watching for home, I would pray that you have your own flip-flops at this point.
Yeah, seriously. They go fast.
They do go fast.
Especially at
I mean,
Christmas
I had to
time.
wait, what, 2 weeks?
Yeah, yeah.
2 weeks to get my stuff?
Especially at Christmas time, you know, this is
Yeah,
the
it's
perfect
gift.
gift.
It is the perfect gift. You wrap under the Christmas tree and you say, hey, listen, hey, I saw this in SLS. This is Lobster flip-flops right here. You can wear whatever you want. Black Pearl doing a lot of damage at this point.
Yeah, but
they're gonna go down nose
Zeri
trying against it.
is-
Zeri, I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what was going
Yeah.
on there.
I mean,
I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I know you want to get the extra farm
You
above
can't do that, though.
the Caitlyn at this point, but you can't farm the enemy jungle when they can push up to
yeah,
your
exactly.
second
And
tier
your whole
turret.
team isn't
Yeah.
even near you.
Yeah,
So-
I don't know what that was. So they kind of have a free reign of a play right here.
Yeah.
And they take the lead for the first time this game
Yeah.
with the most kills.
Yeah, this game is kind of going off the rails. I mean, Lotus Ink Bullets had Baron, and they were only able to get one turret, one turret. I think they only got one turret with that Baron. So
Yeah.
kind of weird play from them, you know, not really focusing their push at all. They kind of just ran around the
look
map.
at this Graves score. He's
He was
5 and
4-0.
4. Yeah. So I mean,
Was he
what
4-0 or
happened?
3-0?
I think he was 3-0.
Okay, so he went.
Yeah.
He's gone 1-5 since.
Yeah.
That
since
start.
everything has happened at
Yeah.
this point.
And you know, I think it's a little bit iffy. So Cloud Dragon going to be up in about 2 seconds, spawning now. It looks like Lotus looking to contest his mid lane. Here comes the TP from Camille. Zach goes over the wall looking to find something. Azir's going to put down the passive turret, but now in the jungle, Poppy taking some damage from Zach. Here we go. Graves on the flank looking to maybe corral them as they get poked out from Zeri and Azir.
Yeah.
This fight
I
looking
think
to
we're gonna
be
be looking at a stalemate for a few minutes.
yeah,
over
but
here
as I
at
say
this
that,
point.
Vex lands the ult and just looks to absolutely one-shot
Blocks
the
it.
Karma, but flashing behind Zeri to block the Caitlyn ult. But here now, Karma chunked out so incredibly low. Maybe they'll use that to start the Dragon. With that being said, though, a key cooldown. Key cooldown being expended as Vex ultimate being used here, and now a lot of damage. Here we go. The fight is underway now in the river onto the Dragon. Graves is going to go down so incredibly early. It's so close right here. Vex picks up one. Now on the top side, Camille's
Great
able to find
shutdown
one
by
back. Here we go.
Poppy.
Poppy, double kill for the Caitlyn, and it looks like it's all going to the side of Insomnia All-Stars.
And I'd like to take this moment of brief conversation where this dragon's being taken to promote Raid Shadow Legends. One of the greatest games of all time. I mean, it's just incredible at this point. You can do so much. I mean, I'm going to be real with you. Gaius the Gleeful, my favorite champion ever that I pulled so far. Incredible. He's a bomb champion. They can drop stuff. I have 5k attack on him, and he's able to make 39k damage pop off. Incredible. I love him. But right back over to the game.
Yeah, so Dragon is going to be picked up by the side of Insomnia All-Stars here. And this Vex is so incredibly strong right now, sitting in at 8, 2, and 6 on 3 completed items, 8 stacks of his Magi's in a stopwatch. He is absolutely turbo strong right now. Camille taking down the top turret.
Yeah, it's an easy takedown right there, over there. I mean, Poppy is able to hold their own for the most part, but Camille able to pull apart with 5-2 at this point. I mean, I hate to deal with a Camille that's this bad.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going after your AD carry like Zeri, someone who's not able to escape it at that point.
Yeah.
You don't have the survivability outside of the Karma
ult, which doesn't help that much, you know.
It really doesn't, unless you use your Azir ult on top of it to kind of get her out of this.
But the thing is,
you don't
have
too
that
much of a
Morgana
shot.
spell shield.
Exactly. Yes, you have that Morgana spell shield that said, "Hey, listen, sold the Zeri. We're gonna do the rest of it at this point." It's not always how it works.
Yeah.
But in a perfect world,
right,
that's how it goes.
All right, Vex waiting over the wall, has that ultimate ready, looking to find an angle into this fight. They need to be careful. Poppy looking to walk up to give some space for Zeri to deal damage, as Camille also looks for her angle in. You know, so much pressure on both of these teams. Every player needs to make sure they're positioning correctly, or there's just such a huge threat of getting picked off. So much pick potential on either team here as they posture for this mid lane positioning into the Baron, just pushing waves back and forth, trying to find an angle to start up this Baron, looking to secure this game. Oh. No. It's Insomnia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and Baron is now being started up by the side of Insomnia All-Stars. Azir's in the bottom lane with TP. It's going pretty low, though. They need to start the TP pretty early.
4K,
it's hitting 4K, 3K, 2K, and it's going to be
Zach
blue
gets
team
it
Baron.
with the Baron
Here
at
we
this
go.
point.
Now Baron fight breaking out, and it's going to die out about as quickly as it starts. Just Graves going down.
A very clean smite at that point.
Yeah, really great smite, honestly.
Very clean smite. You're able to walk around with the Baron, and now you have this option of what do you want to do with it. Do you want to do a 3-1-1 split? Do you want to push the middle? Do you want to push the top? Do you want to push the bottom? You have that scenario at this point. Zach going in with a very bold play to take this red buff. And that's how it ends up over here. But Insomnia ends up in the lead. I mean, this is a different.
Yeah.
This is a very big difference from what we've seen in the other games. The other games we started off with this 0-4 lead. It's been a steamroll for the most part. Insomnia able to put themselves back into the game and start to take control of what's going on for the most part over here. Gromp resets.
Yeah.
That's very unfortunate. I mean, I hate it when it goes that low, but Zeri's still able to pick it up at this point, just with the vision over there and able to grab it. So that's a quick recall at this point. Maybe looking at an item completion. No, a BF sword in a cloak. So let's hope. Let's hope Zeri can make it work. Zeri is the answer to all of this stuff at this point. You also have Zeri, you also have Graves at this point, but Graves starting to go negative. Almost.
Yeah.
He's 4-7-4.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, I mean, me neither. It seems like they're just not really executing what they need to well, and Kaden always just one-shotting the Karma. In goes Zach, looking for this engage is huge. Graves is going to go down, ult over the top. Everyone able to dodge away from his zero. Vexo is going to go a bit wider onto the zero, but able to find a way to EQ, and Poppy trying to peel for what he can, but really just too little too late. Knocks the Camille out nicely, able to block any further engage, but here we go. Zach over the wall looking for Zeri, flash away, but
That's
flashing
it,
right
done.
into Caitlyn Autos, and this might be the end as he pulls back the Poppy,
little
and
Poppy
Insomnia All-Stars
It's gonna go down.
are going to find the
you,
win.
You
which
have all the death timers at this point.
Yeah.
You can kind of take the Nexus turrets. There's nothing anybody can do to stop you. And you're gonna look for it. You're gonna look for your first win of the season at this point.
Huge play.
Zeri is able to be up, but it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
That's
matter. It's
game
too little, too
over
late. Yeah.
at that point.
Huge play from the side of Insomnia All-Stars. I mean,
Yes.
what was a pretty messy game, I would
Right.
say. And something that I want to highlight, if we can pull it up on the screen, I want to take a look at these two junglers because, you know, it may not seem like Zach did a lot, but what I will say.
Yeah, there's two
But
different stories.
Zach still comes back.
There's two different stories to this game. There was early game and there was mid to late game. Split a roster at this point
Yeah.
and separate people. It worked out for him, especially with Black Pearl, where he was able to make things go
Happen,
the way
yeah.
the team wants it to go. And you got to give a lot of credit to a man like that, where he can kind of say, hey, listen, we're behind. We started off the game a little rough. We're 4
Yeah.
kills behind. Here's what we're going to do. All this stuff. Graves, one of those champions who was able to pick up first blood on
Yeah.
him and able to stop his jungle. He said, I'm not done there. I ain't done. I'm going to make it work. And he did. So I want to give a ton of credit to Black Pearl,
Yeah.
where he doesn't give up.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
he makes the team work for it.
Yeah.
And they end up with a victory at the end.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, to the credit of the Graves pick, I think, you know, he did play the early game really well.
He did,
He built
yes.
for himself a lead, and I don't know if it, you know, is kind of a team thing, but there's their ability to close out the game when they had the lead was a little bit sloppy, weren't able to find the angles that they wanted to. But either way, Insomnia All-Stars really was, you know, playing well. I mean, not getting tilted when behind, able to find the team fights that they needed. Really good smites from the side of Black Pearl, and the Vex and the Camille just turned out to be absolute monsters.
Yeah, and I'm shocked they couldn't make the Graves work. I really
Yeah.
am. I really am. I mean, that's one of those champions where if you get into that kill zone like he was at,
Yeah.
for the most part, it's game over.
Seriously.
It really is. And I don't know if it was he didn't make enough pressure on the map, or things just fell apart team wise. But you never wanted to get what I call the danger zone.
Yeah.
And they got into the danger zone with that Graves, and a fantastic job for them to be
Yeah.
able to come back to it
No,
and say,
absolutely.
hey, listen, we're going to take the lead. We're going to make this thing work. We're going to take away with a victory. And boom, that
Yeah.
was it.
Yeah, honestly, just a really impressive game. Absolutely. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah.
We are done with games for the night. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in for our first week of the SOS. It's been so incredibly exciting to be back, to be able to cast some games. We are almost a week away from Christmas.
Yes.
Right, it's a week from Sunday,
It's
I
so
believe,
close. You don't
if I'm
realize
correct.
it, but it is close.
You don't want to miss out on your opportunity
Yeah.
to make someone's year, life, I dare say, with a pair of these
For the most
a
part,
pair of these
yeah.
flip-flops. So, you know, lobster.sos.lol will take you right to where you need to go. Take you right to where you need to go to pick up a pair of these sweet flip-flops. I cannot
Yeah.
emphasize this enough.
It's incredible. It's comfortable. I've been wearing them this whole time.
You have.
I wish you could see it, but
yeah, no, they look great.
I mean, they're amazing for the most part.
Seriously.
You can go to the bars.
You can go anywhere.
You can go
Yeah, we
anywhere
can't stress that enough.
with these things. And I'm telling you right now, they're gonna be a conversation piece, and that's all you need
That's all
for
you
the
need.
most part. That's
That's
it. That's
All right.
really it.
Honestly. So thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in. It was such a pleasure being able to hang out with you, to cast for you.
Yes.
Definitely come back and check us out next week for more action from the SOS. From everyone here on the SOS team, we just appreciate you, appreciate your time, appreciate y'all hanging out. It's been such a pleasure. We love it. We really do. So thank you all for tuning in. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Take care, be well, and we will see you next week.
That's right. And we're gonna have Josh and Pat
And Patrick,
on it
yes,
next
for
week.
their first week, so you
And
don't want to miss
they're,
that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they're incredible.
They are.
You thought we were good? I'm gonna tell you right now. Just wait till next week.
And you should see the kind of flip-flops they'll be
because
wearing.
they're incredible right
Yeah.
here. Everything I learned was from Josh and Pat. They
That's
were my
true.
mentor when I was
Yeah.
growing up back in the day, and they taught me a lot. And I owe my life to them. I
They're-
owe my lobster flip-flops to them.
Their footwear game is crazy.
It's great.
It's crazy.
So just get ready for it. They're wild.
They are.
I
It'll
know
be a good
everybody
time.
out there is wild, and
Yeah.
it's gonna be hot. HAWT.
Hot. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Chase. It's been a pleasure. All right. We will catch you all next week with Josh and Patrick. Take care. Have a good night.